All right, a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome back to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughterzinski with you here, along with Jackson Robb, as we get set for the 2S State Championship between the Coco Tigers and the Bradford Tornadoes. The number 1 and 2 teams remaining in 2S. Bradford comes in at 14-0. The Tigers, a controversial 13-1. And as we get set here, oh, no, maybe not the national anthem. So Jackson, the 2S state championship, the Coco Tigers are the defending champs. They're in search of title number 6 tonight. Bradford in search of their first title since 1965. I believe Lyndon Baines Johnson was president the last time they won a state championship. What are you looking for here tonight?
Yeah, I'm looking for how these teams play out of the gates and early in this game. I think the opening drives are going to tell us a lot about how this game plays out. A lot of it is nerves in games like this, so if a team is nervous, you're going to see that early in the game. If a team's just overwhelmed, then you're going to see that here. We're going to have the national anthem here, and then we'll get back to it.
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to keep trekking through here. We got a radio broadcast to do here. Jackson, from a Coco perspective tonight, to me it feels like that this is their game to lose. I mean, everything that's going to be done here tonight, I feel like that if Coco comes out here and plays Coco Tiger football, they should walk out of here tonight with their 6th state championship.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason they're ranked number 1 in the entire state of Florida, and that's because they have the talent to be the best team and beat everybody else in the entire state. So, absolutely, I think if they play at their level and play Coco Tiger football, they can definitely win a football game like this, but it's a lot of things contribute into the state championship. You're away from home. You're 5 hours up the road here in Tallahassee. You're in the state championship, so nerves may set in. So playing that normal Coco Tiger football may be a little bit different than the usual scene, but I think if they're able to do that, then a 6th state championship should be definitely in the cards.
Yeah, no, I completely and utterly agree with everything that you just said there. And for Bradford tonight to win this football game, I just feel like they average 200 yards per game on the ground. They're going to need that plus some this week, Jackson, or that plus some tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to need to get that rushing attack established. Along with that, I think that they, as I said in the pregame show, are going to need to diversify the playbook a little bit. They heavily favor the run, which, if they get it established, that's great, that's grand. But I think against this Coco Tiger front, passing the football more and just, as I said, diversifying the playbook, having more at your disposal to run against a defense like this is going to be quintessential in my opinion. And if they get the run game going, fantastic, but I think having a passing option or just having some passing plays set up is going to benefit them more from their usual, again, like 70-30 split almost of run to pass.
No doubt about it here as the national anthem winds down and the Coco Tigers will get set to take the field. The Bradford defense is really going to be the trailblazer for this unit here tonight. The Bradford defense in 26 games over the last 2 years, Jackson, has allowed 21 points just twice. One of those teams, the Coco Tigers, who scored 31 on them in the state semis last year. And they, in 23 of those games, they have allowed just one score or less. But again, to me, it is about what the Coco Tigers offense can do, and that defense is going to have to play its best game in the past 2 seasons to win this tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they got to play as the underdog. They have that mentality coming in here, and they got to play the momentum as well. They got this crowd. I mean, Coco traveled extremely well, but I think Bradford brought the entire town of Stark, Florida, here to Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium. So they got the crowd, they got the element. And again, I just think they have to play as the underdog and know that, because playing as the underdog can benefit you. You play as you're coming in here, your dreams come true. You're playing in a state championship, but that's not the end of it. You still have one more game to play if you're Bradford and you want to come out here and beat this Coco team, which plenty of teams have tried to do this season and fallen short. And this is a game for them that is, again, first time since 1985 they've been in this game. First time since 66 would be if they would win it. And they know that. They're coming in knowing it's the state championship, but they also, if you're Bradford, come into this game like we said with Coco, but same for Bradford. You still got to play your football if you're Bradford. Maybe change some things up to match up to Coco and what you've seen on film, but you still want to keep it to what you're used to, what has you at an undefeated record as well coming in, and what's gotten you past some really good teams like Pensacola Catholic last week, among others this season.
Now, tonight is an audio cast only, but we will take a look from time to time at the scoreboard. You can watch this game on Bally's, and there you see the clock there on the screen. And I apologize, and I'm sure there are going to be 3,000 comments tonight asking us why are we not showing the broadcast itself. Help us out a little bit for those that are first-timers here tonight on Brevard Sports Network as we await the Coco Tigers to take the football field here tonight. Let's talk a little bit about that Coco offense. Last week, Jackson, they put up a season-high 618 yards. Previously, their season high had been 617 and 544 against St. Thomas and Venice, respectively. But last week, 600 yards of offense, 300 in the air, 300 on the ground. It's really been that ground attack of Latrison Lane and Malachi Coney here in the playoffs that has absolutely allowed Coach Adam Franco and Coach Ryan Schneider to really expand what this offense is doing.
Yeah, I think that's been a huge development in this offense for the Coco Tigers, is now having that running game and playing at such a high level that it is currently, especially in the playoffs, how it's been able to expand and just become such a high part of that offense. And the play by Latrison Lane and Malachi Coney has been impressive as well, and just how they've been able to break off big plays as well as, down at the goal line, pushing through and getting those scores. And it's just been something I think Coco has unlocked, that kind of potential. I think it was always there. It was kind of like a sleeping giant, but now they've kind of figured that out, that we can really run the football and do it effectively, and how well that opens up the pass and shows for an offensive performance like it did last week.
As much as we talk about that Coco offense, that defense is no joke either, Jackson. And 57 sacks, 160 tackles for loss, 121 quarterback hurries. They have forced 26 turnovers on that defense, 12 interceptions, 14 fumble recoveries, and they got speed and size everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. This defense is very impressive for the Coco Tigers this season. That D-line is big, and they are physical. They get into opposing teams' backfields play-by-play, as well as the linebacker unit, Samadre Hawkins and company back there. Samadre, the tackle leader all-time here at Coco, which is a big accomplishment. And that secondary as well, very fast and physical. So Coco at all levels is very strong defensively, and they have talent all over the field that is able to shut down some of the best offenses in the state. And teams that they've seen like Venice and St. Thomas Aquinas who are playing in state championships this weekend, and they were able to limit them enough to win those games. So for the Coco Tigers, that defense has talent all over it. 4-star up front, Javion Hilson, Davion Hawkins-Ingram, 3-star committed to Western Kentucky, among others, as I said, Samadre Hawkins and the rest of the group. So there's names to know all over the field for that Coco Tigers defense, but all you need to know is that they're very fast and very physical.
No doubt about it, as we wait for the teams to take the field. And one of the things that's going to be a pain tonight in this one, as we got 7 more minutes to go, is TV timeouts. We're going to have to deal with straight TV timeouts. But look, I'll say this: I am grateful Bally's has put this game on for free tonight. Channel 31 on Spectrum and 653-1. It beats having to pay $12 for it.
Yep, absolutely. And I would also like to thank, Kayla back there doing it, but just everyone out there. If you see links in the chat, don't click on them. Those are not the Bally broadcast or anything you want to click on. Caleb's getting rid of them, but if you see links in the chat, don't click them. But, yeah, definitely a great asset to have out here and have that outlet. And but, you got us broadcasting it. You just can't see it with us. You'll see it with Bally, but you can hear it with us.
Yeah, no doubt. And I want to continue to talk about the Coco Tiger offense, which is led by that offensive line. And, of course, Javen Boggs, and there you see Boggs on your screen, and that's against St. Thomas Aquinas. Last year against this team and a lot of these same players, Jackson, Boggs, 9 catches, over 200 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And I look for the same. I want to go back to the defense, too, for just a minute. And remember, Samadre Hawkins tonight and Davion Parham could have a field day. Why, you ask? Well, when you look at the Bradford offensive line, and I don't know if they're going to talk about this on the television broadcast tonight, but it certainly is worth mentioning here. Coco's got a very experienced front seven of juniors and seniors. Up front for Bradford tonight, Cam Lewis, Jake Ferguson, Rich Bradley, Kyron Green, and Caden Carter. You got 2 sophomores, 2 juniors. You have just 1 senior, Jackson, on that offensive line. 2 sophomores up there. It could be a long night for that Bradford offensive line.
Yeah, they're going to have to play the best they've played on all levels of that offensive line, from the interior offensive line to the edges, because Coco's got it all over the D-line and the linebackers coming in. They're going to bring pressure from all angles. They're going to try and get, knowing that, Bradford's offense likes to run the football, they're going to bring some pressure. They're going to they're going to spy, they should spy Dejon Shanks, Six Shanks there, the quarterback, who's a dual threat. So they may have one linebacker just surfing as a spy, but the rest of them will probably be coming in off the edge, trying to limit him, keep him in the pocket, and force him to throw the ball, or if they run the ball, keep him up the middle. So, yeah, the offensive line's going to have to create holes in a game like this and try and spread Coco's D-line out instead of letting him just collapse on the ball every play.
The thing that worries me a little bit is Brady Hart, and what I mean by that is early. Brady Hart's like a big running back that gets stronger as the game goes on. And when I say he worries me, I mean nerves early. He had them last week along with the Tristan Lane. It cost him a turnover early last week. But Hart looked fantastic in warm-ups.
Yeah, he did. His deep ball was on, I think, every single pass they did. It was impressive in my opinion. So, yeah, I'm going to be looking for a big one from Brady Hart. I mean, he's an X factor on this team at that quarterback position. And, as much as the sophomore nerves may kick in, and this is his first state championship, but I do think that he's going to shake them off quick, and he's going to have to, because this is a Bradford defense that's going to force mistakes. They have really good linebackers, DBs. I mean, you make it this far, you got a good defense, and Bradford does. That's a big strength as they take the field here, the Bradford Tornadoes. But, yeah, Brady Hart, I think as long as he can, if he has any nerve, shake him out within a play or two, he'll be just fine. He has the skills to do it.
Quick. Throw a touchdown. That always gets rid of him. We want to thank David A. Baker, attorney at law, Sonny's Barbecue, Merritt Island Gamers R Us, Mr. Jim Williams, Haynes Environmental, Matthew Development, Jennifer Harris, Realtor, also AJ's Counseling and Consulting, and CAD Design and Estimate Group. And Mr. Jim, thanks for all of your support. And of course, Seth Gibson at Gamers R Us as well. The community raised nearly $8,000 to contribute towards this trip this week. The Tigers are led by 6-year head coach Ryan Schneider. And arguably tonight, Schneider is, I mean, it's not often that you see a head football coach in his 4th state championship game in just 6 years. And Bradford has really traveled well, Jackson. They have filled up nearly the entire side of the stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. They've brought pretty much everybody, as I said, from that town. And for them over in Stark, and this football team is a big part of them, their community. Friday Night Lights is a big deal, and they brought it here. And we're hearing more boos than cheers right now as the Coco Tigers take the field. And it's a big thing here for this team to travel. You have the team behind you. You have your fans behind you. That's going to be big in a game like this to make you feel that familiarity of a home atmosphere.
The captain's getting set to go towards the middle of the field. 1, 2, 6, and 10. And I want to talk about Chaleel Cummings, the 6 foot, 190-pound senior who has probably 2 dozen offers. He is the guy that is one of their keys tonight outside of their quarterback. Dejon Shanks, they call him Six Shanks, also headed out to the middle of the field is Torin Brazell, who leads this team in sacks this year, and number 10 for Bradford too. And he's chasing Clark out there, the Marshall commit.
Yeah, Khalil Cummings comes in with offers from P5 level: Cincinnati, FSU, Iowa State, Kentucky, Maryland, Miami, Michigan State, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Pitt, South Carolina, Tennessee, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. That's a big athlete, and that's someone Coco is going to have to look out for. I think that you talked about Brazell, that their sack leader. He is the 2S sack leader as a whole with 15, one above Javion Hilson with 14, who leads Coco's defense in sacks. So that'll be one to look out for. That big front offensive line for Coco is going to have to look out for. Brazell and that Bradford defense, as they do get pressure on the quarterback typically, but we'll see how they match up against the Coco offensive line.
As Jamie Rogers is in his 2nd season here at Bradford, and the captains are at center field. The center field, the 50-yard line, and I know it is. I see Davion Parham out there. Number 55 is also out there for the Coco Tigers. That's the big offensive lineman, Messiah Robinson, and we'll get a real good look at him now. Samadre Hawkins is out there as well. Your starters, Bradford's going to receive. Coco has deferred. Your starters on the defensive side of the football for the Coco Tigers are your two defensive ends with Davion Hawkins Ingram and Javion Hilson. Your DTs are Lauren Ward and Pee Wee Robertson. The two linebackers in the 4-2-5 set by DC Matt Diesel are Davion Parham and Samadre. Your nickelback is Durand Guilford. The strong safety, Josh Brown. Free safety, Nate Jason. The cornerback, Jay-Sean Smith. The other cornerback, C.J. Hester. Your starting offense for the Bradford Tornadoes. Your quarterback is Dejon Six Shanks. He comes in with over 2,000 all-purpose yards, 1,200 passing, over 900 on the ground. The three-star Chaleel Cummings, Elijah Kellum, and Jaquez Kaysen at the wide receiver positions. Your fullback is Torrin Brazel. Your running back is Willie Pollard. And the big guys up front from left to right, Cam Lewis, Jacob Ferguson, Ridge Bradley, Kyron Green, and Caden Carter. We get set for the kickoff here, Jackson. And I'm excited for this one. And something I think, the kicking game concerning me a little bit as Gunnar Trout gets set to kick off. He's got 81 kickoffs this season, 21 touchbacks, but he hasn't had a touchback in 5 weeks. Now, you'll remember last year in the state semifinals, after halftime in this one, Bradford ran a kickback to pull within 7. They would eventually tie it, and Boggs would break their back, and this won't be a return either, as this ball is going to be caught, and it's out. Football is out, and down the Coco Tigers. Did they recover that?
I don't think so.
Bradford has it, and I tell you what, a mix-up down there by the two receivers, and they bobbled the ball and dropped it, and number 22 nearly turned the football over for Bradford. The Tigers were down there in a hurry. Guess they did not need a touchback there, because now it's 1st and 10 for Bradford at the 11-yard line. Six Shanks brings them out, and Shanks will go from a wildcat gun type of a formation. The deep back is, I believe, back there going to be Willie Pollard. Shanks with the H-back, Torrin Brazel. Brazel in motion. Shanks wants it. He's got it. He turns. He gives to Pollard. Pollard with a big run off tackle. He gets outside. Pollard at the 40, 50, 40, 35-yard line, and a big run by Willie Pollard.
What a start there for Bradford. A hole opened up on the right side of the offensive line. Pollard hit it perfectly, then cut straight to the sideline, using his speed, just using his legs to get to the edge, and he took off, didn't take a hit at all. He walked out of bounds just past the 40, and the crowd's already on their feet, and what a statement to start for the Bradford Tornadoes offensively.
It's exactly what you said, Jackson. You expected these teams to start strong, and Willie Bradford does it right there. Bradford, a heck of an athlete. It'll be 1st and 10 as he actually steps out of bounds at the Coco Tiger 37-yard line. Bradford averages 208 yards a game. There's 50 of them right there. And Shanks wants it back in the Wildcat. He fakes the Pollard, keeps it himself this time, goes in. He'll pick up 3. It'll be 2nd. He goes between the guard and the guard and the center there. Picks up maybe 3. Look, Jackson, they got the lighted, not the flipper thing there, the
down marker,
the lighted down marker. Let's just hope he can remember to change it. Yeah. 11:23 to play in the opening quarter. Right back to the line of scrimmage come the Bradford Tornadoes. 2nd down and 8. They'll give him just 2. 2 wide receivers split to the near side. Shanks turns, gives to Pollard again, straight up the gut. But the Coco Tigers, front 7, especially that middle front there. Lauren Ward and Pee Wee Robinson shut it down. Tackle made, actually, by Davion Hawkins Ingram. 3rd and 8, Jackson.
Yeah, I just don't think tonight for Bradford running straight right at the center, right down the middle of that line. I just don't think it's going to work against Coco tonight. They try it right there, and it doesn't gain any yards. Now it sets up third down, and we've only seen runs so far, and in a third down and about 7, we'll see what Bradford decides to run here.
53 yards on their first play of the game, 4 yards since. Shanks going to throw it here, looking, pump fakes, throws, and yeah, that's a great no call down in the left corner of the end zone. If there was going to be a call, it probably should have came
on
against
the offense.
Jaleel Cummings,
Absolutely,
who grabbed Durant Guilford by the back of his helmet.
I agree, and then the receiver just slipped down. Cummings slipped, and Guilford turned around. He was trying to keep his hands off of him to avoid any stray penalty, but if he turned around, it could have been intercepted.
That actually was not Guilford down there on the coverage. That was number 10 for the Coco Tigers, Ja'Shawn Smith, the cornerback. It's 4th down and 7, and they're going to go for this. And the ball is at the Coco Tiger 35. Motion to the right, settles in. Shanks trying to draw the Tigers off sides. We're going to see what they try to do here. And Coco is not going to buy it, and Bradford's going to take a timeout. So that Tiger defense comes back, and I tell you what, they do a really nice job of buckling down after giving up 53 yards.
Yeah, absolutely. They were able to quickly adjust and make some good stops. The thing is, I see here, though, Bradford has to take a timeout.
Well, they didn't actually take the timeout. Oh. What they did was they took the delay of game, so it's going to back them up 5 yards. And now it looks like, well, they're going to punt the football here.
Which that's big. After a big 50-yard play on your first play from scrimmage, you look to set up a scoring drive immediately, and they don't. And that's big by Coco's defense to keep them off the scoreboard after an explosive play to start the game.
There you see the down and distance, 12 yards to go. That's just a short squid kick. That ball gets into the end zone. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Coco Tigers at the 20-yard line. And we'll get a first look at the Coco Tigers and sophomore quarterback Brady Hart. Hart looked absolutely fabulous in the pregame warm-up, Jackson.
Yeah, he did. They were throwing some deep routes down the sideline, some flies, some corner routes, and he hit him in stride every single time. So, Hart didn't show any sign of nerves in pregame, but it is a little different once they hit the field. So we'll see how they look.
And the Tigers are going to open up with a 5-wide set. It's a 3-by-2 set. 3 on the far side of the field away from our press box. Hart, 3,557 yards this year. Fakes the jet sweep, throws the bubble screen, and that's caught. And Coco will pick up 7 yards on first down. C.J. Bragg with the catch as Hart with a good pop there. And it's 2nd and a long 3 now, right back to the line of scrimmage. Comes Hart and the Tigers now to be trips to the right bunch. 1 wide receiver, 3-by-1 set. Hart looks, fires, throws, and that should be a hold.
I was going to say.
He had him wrapped up, and I mean, he had one hand on him. In fact, he used the hand for leverage to swing around. No flag, and it'll be 3rd down and 2. The intended receiver, I believe, was Javen Boggs. And if you're going to stop Boggs, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that was Cummings in the coverage. And, yeah, I think he had a hand right around that collar, which is an interesting one to, let go, and it falls incomplete for Coco. Now it's 3rd and short.
Here we go. Boggs has got that 5 wide receiver set again. No backs in the backfield. The Tigers, who ran the football 5 more times than they threw it last week, have not done so yet. Quick one. First down, Coco Tigers on a quick 5-yard pass to Nicky Teeter. And the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. And again, right back to the line of scrimmage comes Brady Hart. He brings them, and he's got Latrician Lane to his right. 3 wide receivers set to the right side. 1 wide receiver up top. Bradford shows blitz. They bring it. This is DJ Bryant with it. Bryant grabbed by his helmet. Nearly fumbled the football. Did fumble the football. And Bradford says they have it. And they do.
Wow. I mean, that's a play. That's Coco's screenplay, and Bryant, when he gets hit, just bobbles it up in his hands, never hauls it in. And well, he hauled it in and then couldn't get it back to himself, and the ball falls out. Bradford falls on it. This is going to be now Bradford's 2nd trip deep into Coco territory, and this is going to test the Coco defense early and how they can stand up for a 2nd time.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Bradford as DJ Bryant fumbled that football at the 30-yard line. And this is where Six Shanks and company it will take over.
Now, I think that was some nerves. I think we saw some nerves there to Coco in that ball because it was caught, and then the first sign of contact, he kind of bobbled it up in the air and lost it all on his own.
Shanks with Pollard to his left. Let's see if they go back to that off-tackle play. They've got one wide receiver split equally to each side. The Pollard now to the right of Shanks. Turns, gives, coming back to the left side, tries to get outside of tackle. He won't do it. Tackled by Davian Hawkins Ingram. He does pick up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I mean, that's still solid first down yardage for Bradford nonetheless. 3 or 4 yards right to the left side of the line. That's what you're looking for. They tried to get outside like they did on the first play of the game. Coco with a much better job of sealing it and getting a hand on the runner, but it's still a solid gain on first down, and we'll see if Bradford can keep that rolling here through the next few downs and keep this drive moving towards the red zone this time around.
2nd down and 6. Ball on the Coco 26. Shanks now with Pollard to his left. And they're going to go back. Or no, actually good. Shanks pulls the ball back out of the stomach of Pollard on the RPO there. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 as he picks up just 2. Jackson.
Yeah, that's going to be a big part of Bradford's offense tonight is an option play like that. And they've called it a few times where it's either Shanks or it's Pollard. They either give or they keep, and that time they keep right up the middle. And again, running right at Coco's defensive front hasn't worked too well for him early, and you see it again there. But if he doesn't pull it, it may go for a loss, so it is the right call.
I'm awfully impressed with those 2 sophomores on that Bradford offensive line to start this one, handling business well. 3rd and 4 for the Tornadoes. Shanks going to keep it, and he's going to have a first down and much more as he is down to the 15-yard line of the Coco Tigers. Great read by Shanks. He just simply followed his blockers through the open space.
Yeah, that was great field vision by Shanks. He was initially going to the right, cut back inside, past the O-line, and ended up picking up much more yardage inside. And that's just a good play to make a cut on a dime instead of going for not even getting the first to getting it now inside of the Coco 15-yard line. This is a big offensive drive for Bradford.
It is 1st and 10 at the Gamers R, inside the Gamers RS red zone. Shanks keeps still on his feet, and he'll get down to about the 13. It'll be 2nd down and about 7 following a gain of 3 for Shanks to this point. I'd like to welcome everybody on the audio cast only tonight. You can watch the game on Bally's. Turn down the volume. Turn up Allen and Jackson. Bragg Memorial Stadium here at Ken Riley Field on the campus of FAMU University here in Tallahassee, Florida. Shanks breaks the huddle, and he's going to have, let's see, he's got really one back in the backfield, number 34 back there this time for Bradford. And Shanks keeps, gets outside. Great stop. What a tackle in there. Who was that? Number 2 gets in there for the Coco Tigers. That's Josh Brown, comes up from the corner and makes the stop. That's a loss of 4 or 5. It's now 3rd and 11, all the way back to the 16. A corner blitz called by Coach Diesel, and Brown executed it perfectly.
Yeah, it was a great open field tackle by Brown as well in the backfield to drop Shanks before he could go anywhere. And now it sets up 3rd and long. Let's see if Coco's defense can make another stand here deep in Bradford territory.
And here we go, right back to the line of scrimmage. Shanks looks to throw. He does. Goes to Cummings. Caught.
Wow.
Touchdown, Bradford. What a catch by Shalea Cummings. And with 6:24 to go in the opening quarter, the Bradford Tornadoes have taken a 6-0 lead on points off of turnovers.
Yeah, that was one I thought he was covered. I thought that could have been an interception. It was a 50-50 ball thrown up, and Cummings shows why he has all those D1 offers and why he's a 3-star listed as an athlete. And he makes an athletic play there in the corner of the end zone, leaping up for that ball.
Pass interference on the defense on that one, and Cummings just comes down with it.
Wow.
And what a great play. But they didn't have far to go as the fumble, and the kick is no good.
It's blocked, it looked like.
Yeah, so with 6:24 to go here in the opening quarter, Bradford strikes first. We'll be right back here on the Brevard Sports Network. 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back. Bradford set the kickoff. Marion Walker's back deep, but that ball won't reach him. It bounces at the 15, picked up by C.J. Bragg or Nicky Teeter. That's Nicky Teeter. Great stop out there by number 12 for Bradford. And that's just great kick coverage.
Yeah, Coco not able to go far on that return. They're going to be stuck at their own 22. That first drive was, they were moving the ball, but they were running screen passes, and when they did, the ball was fumbled and they lost it. And I think, in my opinion, that was kind of a nervous fumble, but you can't have that here because I'll tell you, Bradford doesn't look nervous. Bradford looks well-conditioned for this sort of a game, and they have the crowd on their side. That is not to say Coco didn't travel well. The Tiger faithful did, but I'll tell you.
And let's be fair now, too. Bradford
drives a lot
about
shorter.
2.5 hours to come, and Coco, we drove it 5 hours.
Yeah. But, that's the thing. That was one of my keys for Bradford to play the momentum and play their game. They're doing that early on, and they have the momentum in their favor. Coco has to take that back right now because, especially with a drive like that defensively, Coco has a great defense, but you put them right back out on the field. You don't want to get this defense tired out early. You want to have a longer offensive drive here that goes down and scores to, A, match Bradford, and B, let your defense have some time off the field to get rested and get back and ready to play at their high level of defense.
Coco led last year in the state championship game. But there's a lot of game left here, Jackson. A lot of game left. And again, not one more time, but a lot tonight. We're going to be thanking these great people. I want to thank Jennifer Harris Real. And there you see the information on the screen, the telephone number there in the box, 28340-3078. Thank you, Jennifer, for your generous donation to Brevard, not to Brevard Sports Network, to the Coco Tigers. So we are here at the 2S State Championship game at Bragg Memorial Stadium at Ken Riley Field. And it's kind of awkward because we got the radio booth for Bradford right next to us. And I was louder on their touchdown than they were.
Yeah, it was a great call, and that shows we're not going to be biased tonight. This is going to be a good broadcast. But for Coco on this drive, in my opinion, I think they need to start out on the ground. They didn't run the ball at all in that first drive, and I think they can start out this drive with Lane or Coney and try and establish the ground game on this drive to start.
Bradford, listen, Bradford this season, 6 shutouts. This defense over the past 2 years have held opponents to 1 score or less in 23 of 26 games. And now you're going to get Malachi Coney behind Brady Hart. You're going to have trips spread out to the left. And now we got a motion in Davion Hawkins Ingram and the give. And Bradford absolutely blows it up. They are saying, no. That's big Jason Clark in there.
Yeah, and Coco can't let this momentum keep riding like it is. Bradford's playing the high right now, which is honestly what I've seen in sports is one of the most lethal things to give a team this kind of a momentum in a championship game early. They just got to get a play to go their way here, and they're definitely able to do that.
2nd down and 11 after a loss of 1. Hart, and we got a flag and a whistle, and we'll see what the White hat calls here. It's going to be against Coco.
It's a false start.
It's going to be a false start, so it's going to be 2nd down and 16. And the Tigers kind of with
snap infraction is the call.
Infraction. All right, how am I now? I think you should probably be able to hear me now. Turn it up a little bit. Caleb, how does it sound? People are telling me I'm soft.
As pass here by Hart. Great catch.
Nice catch. And you know what? He goes right back to DJ Bryant, who had the fumble earlier. Great throw, great catch by Bryant. And that puts the confidence back in that young man. Great sideline pass. What a throw by Hart. A back shoulder fade that he turned around for.
Yeah, that's the kind of deep ball I was seeing in the warm-ups by Brady Hart. He executes it perfectly. Bryant with a great grab falling backwards to stay in bounds.
Play action to Coney. Comes back to C.J. Bragg, and Bragg will have forward progress. He's only going to give him 2 yards. Ryan is upset because that should be forward progress to at least the 48, 49, but they're going to mark this football at the 46, a gain of 2. And I'm with you on that one, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coco really favoring those wide receiver screens. They love to run, but Bradford has come out expecting it, and they're running great coverage on it. So Coco may have to go elsewhere here on this play and going forward until they can set that screen up.
And 2nd and 8, Hart, 2-step drop, looking in trouble, scrambles to his right, throws on the run. He dropped an interception, but we're going to have a flag for pass interference. It's going to be 15 yards against Bradford and a Coco Tiger first down. It's going to be called against Jaquez Kaysen in the secondary, and he knows it, and he's walking away.
Yeah, that was one, though. Hart under pressure threw exactly right into the chest of the Bradford defender, and you're luckily, A, it's dropped, and B, it's going to be a pass interference anyway.
I mean, that's why defensive backs aren't wide receivers, because that hit him right square in the numbers. They're going to call actually a hold in the secondary, so it's a 10-yard penalty, but it is enough for a Coco Tiger first down. So it'll be first down for the Tigers at the Bradford, what's that, 44-yard line, 4:47 to play here in the opening quarter. 6-0 Tornadoes. No, Uptown Nard, we cannot show the game. We've explained it 30 times. Throws and all over him, but still caught. What a catch. What a throw into traffic, no less. Triple coverage. Is that Boggs?
I think that is Javen Boggs.
Javen Boggs.
And that was one he had Cummings all up and over his back, and he still hauls it in and carries him for another Coco first down for a gain of 13 yards, and that's just what Javen Boggs does after the catch.
And you open your eyes and look, and the Tigers are down to the Bradford 31 here. 3 wide receivers to the far side. C.J. Braggs wide left, Boggs wide right, Coney in the backfield to the left of Hart. He looks, the offensive line, and that's an offsides. They're going to call, that's another snap infraction on Coco. That's 2 snap infractions on Coco.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You just reset the downs. It's going to back you up 5, make it 1st and 15 here, and that's something you got to eradicate quickly so it doesn't become a continued problem throughout the game.
So that's going to back them up. They didn't call a snap infraction. They called a false start. 1st and 15 from the Bradford 35. As we've got 3 wide receivers to the left of Hart. So is his running back, Malachi Coney. Javen Boggs alone to the right. They got man coverage. 1 deep is the play. Throws wide open. Caught. Touchdown. Coco Tigers. Nicky Teeter.
And what a full circle for Teeter this year. Has that injury, misses a few games, and now he catches the first touchdown of the state championship for the Coco Tigers. Wide open down the seam, busted coverage, or they just didn't bother to cover him. But either way, Hart saw it immediately, hit him right in the hands, caught by Teeter for a big Coco touchdown. And from 36 yards out, what a start for Coco there, and what a way to turn it after a fumble on the last drive. As I said, they need to get their defense off the field, march down and score. They do exactly that and take advantage of blown coverage.
Nicky Teeter with the catch at the 10. He actually looked twice because he couldn't believe nobody was around him. On for the extra point. This is where the Tigers have struggled in the playoff. Not here. And drilling it through to give the Coco Tigers a 7-6 lead is Gunnar Trout. The Coco Tigers rebound. We'll be back here as Coco takes a 7-6 lead. Welcome back to Bragg Memorial Stadium. A little Macarena going on in the background as the Tigers have taken a 7-6 lead. Hart throws darts, says the crowd on your Valley screen as he gets set to kick off here. And what an answered drive by Coco. And this is a lofty kick caught at the 25. And he breaks a tackle. He's out at the 50. 1 guy, 2 guys to beat. Can't beat them. as Josh Brown makes the tackle. But once again, for the third consecutive time, Jackson, Bradford will have outstanding field position. They've started all of their drives tonight. Well, one of their drives they started in their own territory and then quickly moved it into Coco territory. But they are right back in the Tiger territory after 46.
Yeah, I mean, that's the downside to short kicking and sky kicking one of those balls. Last time you see the upside, a muffed kick, and then you're already there to almost recover it. But that's the downside. You're giving him, he's starting his return from the 25, and that's where if you break a tackle like that, you spring it for a gain of 30, and instead of putting you at the 30-yard line from the goal line, it puts you into Coco territory immediately, and that's where you see a downside to sky kicking it.
Dejan Six Shanks, the quarterback. He's got two H-backs to his right, Willie Pollard to his left, two wide receivers. He gives to Pollard. They go right back. Ball's out. Coco's got it. And off for possible scoop and score. No, he's tackled at the 25, and the Tigers have recovered a fumble as Davion Parham, who did it last year in the state championship in overtime to give the Tigers a win, picks up a caused fumble by Hawkins Ingram, and the Tigers are right back in business with the ball.
That was Samadre Hawkins who scoops it up and runs with it, nearly took it, but that is a complete flip of the momentum. Coco was the one that fumbled and gave up a touchdown. Now they score a touchdown and pick up a fumble, and now they're starting in Bradford territory. And this is where, if you're Bradford's defense, you have got to bow up. You cannot let Coco go drive down and score back-to-back touchdowns. And that's how this game swings into Coco's favor. And as Logan Pettit will always say, you can't let it get into a feeding frenzy, especially for a team like Coco.
Samadre Hawkins. Hart with a perfect throw.
That's a hold.
Oh, my goodness.
No way.
How does he not throw that flag?
It's an audio cast. We could see from up here his jersey being pulled off his shoulder pads. That's a
terrible no call.
Yeah, that's
horrible.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you can give the ref side of it, but I just don't see that.
His
jersey was off the shoulder pad. So,
but, I mean, come on, ref. Hart looks, fires, throws outside to Teeter. Teeter will have a first down, and he'll be taken out at the 8. It'll be first and goal for the Coco Tigers. I still can't get over the fact that he didn't throw that flag. What is he looking at?
Yeah, well, to get it back in the flat there to Teeter, get him inside the 10-yard line. Now Coco with goal to go. That's just a good quick out and letting Teeter use his legs, using his playmaking ability to hit the sideline, cut up field, pick up a first down, and put him goal to go.
Caleb, are people still asking why they can't see the game? Yep. They obviously aren't reading the bottom banner. This is
Latrice Lane.
Yeah, Lane gets down to the 4.
Coco really has not been running the ball early on tonight. I think that's only their second attempt on the ground, and that one goes for about 3 or 4 yards. But Bradford's defensive front has kind of deterred them from really running the ball early, as they haven't been able to do much with it in the 2 attempts they've given. But down by the goal line, they're going to look for it a little bit more, I think. This time it's a pass, swing route to Lane.
Yep, Lane trying to get to the corner, cuts back. He'll be stopped at the 5. You're not going to – a lot of times you're going to have to run fakes to get inside of this defense. They're tough, like the Tigers are, to run outside. 2:56 to go in the opening quarter. The Tigers will now have 3rd and goal from the 6th. Hart with Latrice and Lane, double split equally to each side. Hart wants it.
Yeah, if you're Coco with this field position, you've got to cash in.
I still can't get over the call, but I guess I need to. In motion is Lane. Hart on a keeper, pulls up, rolls to his right, looking, can he get in, gets a block,
he fumbles
out. That's going to be a touchback. Hart fumbled the ball, but he was in the end
I think
zone.
That was a touchdown.
Yeah, that should be a touchdown. He broke the plane.
I'm going to watch the replay we have up here before I say anything, but I'm 90% sure Hart was across the goal line. It's hard to say until we get a replay.
Did he have possession of the ball when he crossed the goal line?
Here's the replay I'm watching right now. So he's rolling out to the right, tucks it, and he fumbled early.
That's a fumble ball. Brady Hart fumbles out of the end zone, and the Coco Tigers with a critical red zone turnover here, and they will turn it over, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bradford Tornadoes. That's a huge turnover. Bradford needs to capitalize with 2:20 to go in the first.
Devin McBride, the one that gets a hand on it, and he just peanut punches it out before Hart can reach the ball out for the goal line, and that's huge for Bradford as they fumble it and they get it right back. That's 3 turnovers combined for these two teams in the first quarter, all fumbles, And that's huge to keep Coco off the board with that kind of field position, the way their offense has started to roll.
Sally Youngblood, this is on TV. It's on Valley Sports, Spectrum Channel 31. And Shanks is going to keep that. He's still on his feet, and he is hauled down, though. He nearly got loose there, Jackson, as making the stop was number 20 for the Coco Tigers, or 22 there, C.J. Hester.
Yeah, it's a good stop. Didn't let him get outside. Shanks, he broke one tackle, but just couldn't get to the edge. Coco was able to get him kind of corralled there after only a gain of 2 yards, so nothing really lost there on first down, which is good. Protecting the edge is going to be key tonight for Coco.
2nd down and 8 for Bradford. Shanks with Pollard to his left. He's got an H-back to the inside. And the give is to, oh my, blew him up, but shaking it off is Shanks, and 6. What a play by Shanks. He should have been stopped in the backfield, and he spun out of a tackle to give Bradford an opportunity here on 3rd and 3. Nice play by 6.
Yeah, that's a great play. Didn't give up on it. Got outside and just made a play what could have been blown up for a big loss. He uses his athletic ability to get outside once again there, and that's a crucial play for Bradford at this point in the drive. It's still early on to try and set up a 3rd and short rather than a 3rd and maybe more than 10 yards.
Warren Brazell and Willie Pollard back there. Brazell, he's a big young man. He's
That's their
in that
sack leader.
H-back role. That young offensive line for Bradford doing a job. Shanks keeps looking for the first down. He'll have it. It'll be a gain of 4, needed 3. 1st and 10 for the Tornadoes at their own 31. 1:23 to go in the opening quarter. 7-6, Coco on top.
Lauren Ward shot right through the O-line that time, but he just didn't get any contact on the ball carrier, and he was able to go out to the right side, whereas Ward came in on the left side of the offensive line, so they were able to kind of get away from the rushing Lauren Ward that could have gone for a loss.
Keep your eye on Shalil Cummings here. I believe that's him on the near side, split wide left. Split wide right, can't see the number. Shanks looks, and he just lofts one up. Oh, what a catch. I just said keep your eye on him. That's going to be an issue all night long as he gets over the top of Oki's battle. And what a catch by Shalil Cummings.
That's not what you want to see if you're Coco, is that this team is exploiting that pass early on. That was something that Booker only figured out later in the second half, in which they weren't even able to exploit. The thing is, though, Coco's playing solid coverage on him. He's just going up and winning jump balls one-on-one, and every ball that's thrown up to him, he's caught.
There was nothing Tom Brady-esque about that pass. He simply turned, hit the X button, and Cummings went and got it. 1st and 10 at the Coco 42. And this time, Shanks gives it to Pollard, chasing him down, and that'll be a gain of 5, though. And right now, Pollard.
I mean, that's picture perfect on first down for Bradford to get 5
that's
yards.
Exactly what you're looking for, off to the right side right there. That's where Bradford's picking up space on that right side of that Coco Tiger defense. And over there, you've got Jacob Ferguson and Kyron, or Caden Carter, doing an outstanding job over there. Number 52 and number 55 for Bradford. For the Tigers on the left side of that defensive line, you got Lauren Ward. 2nd, and they actually make it 4, and that's the end of the first quarter with our score. The Bradford Tornadoes and the Coco Tigers in a turnover-filled quarter. The difference, a Gunner Trout extra point. Tigers lead it 7-6.
For the latest official news about the Florida High School sports, High School Athletic Association. That's FHSAA.com.
And welcome back, and we want to thank all of these fantastic people that helped raise the money for the Tigers to make this 4.5-hour, 2-day trek. David Baker Law, Mr. Jim Williams, Haynes Environmental, How about Gamers RS? Matthew Development, CAD Design and Estimating Group, Jennifer Harris Realtor. Give her a call if you're looking for a house or trying to buy one. 208-340-3078. AJ's Counseling and Consultation. And Mr. Jim Williams. Unbelievable what Jim Williams and Seth Gibson have done for Gamers RS. To broadcast, just the audio portion of this is expensive. The video portion, I can't even begin to tell you how expensive it is. But absolutely amazing, and we want to thank everyone that helped make this trip possible. A little bit of Cotton Eye Joe in the background. We were jamming on the way up. We listened to, 2 books and jammed out to some classic rap and some classic country on the way up. Jackson, which did you prefer?
I think there was a little bit of good in everything, honestly. Enjoyed all of it.
Yep, I want to say hello to Martin Petrozzullo. Alex, of course, a longtime great kicker here at Coco High School. Kicked in that I think he was in that 2016 state champ. What's up?
There's a lot of background noise.
So we can shut the windows, too. I mean, we can shut one of these windows, right? There you go. That'll help eliminate it, right? All right. Mark, Alex Petrozzullo, great young man, too. Loved interviewing him. And Bradford will have the football as they'll now be moving from left to right on your handheld device. This is an audio cast only, and if you're not familiar with what that means, it means we can't show the game. Excuse me, because it's on Bally's. 2nd down and 7. Shanks gives Newback in. That's number 14, Jaquez Kaysen, and Kaysen has another Bradford first down, and Coach Diesel's out there extremely upset with his defense. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the Coco 31, just underway here, start of quarter number 2 between the Tigers and the Tornadoes. Will it be catch a Tiger by their tail, or will the Coco Tigers be storm chasing for the 2nd consecutive week, or running down a Tornado? 1st and 10 at the 31. Shanks now will have an unusual set for Bradford, a 3 wide receiver set, 4 altogether with Pollard to his left here. And in fact, it's so unusual, Coach Jamie Rogers wants a timeout, screams for one, takes one, and that will be, I believe, the first timeout for Bradford. 2 remaining for Bradford, 3 for the Tigers, 11:19 to go. Obviously, Jackson, the takeaway from the first quarter are the turnovers. The Tigers with 2 fumbles and nearly an interception that was dropped. Bradford with a turnover. We'll see if they settle down, but these are 2 hard-hitting teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both of our keys of the game, mine, Coco playing Coco, nerves, they've both kind of been an issue for Coco early.
Yep.
And those turnovers, it's just playing sloppy. I mean, I don't think Coco has played to their highest level right now, offensively or defensively. I think Bradford, your key for Bradford was running the ball efficiently, and they have done that. So I think if we're looking at it right now, Bradford is playing their game better than Coco is. That's just that. But this drive, especially right here, Coco's defense makes a stand in their own territory. That's huge. If Bradford can cash in and take the lead, that's huge. This drive, every drive in a game like this, in a state championship this close, is going to matter, and it's going to tell you something about each side.
Bradford 1st and 10. Look, don't correct me. If I say Booker, it's a Freudian slip. Bradford 1st and 10 at the 31. Shanks drilled on a blitz by Davian Hawkins Ingram. And he absolutely drills Shanks to the turf, and Bradford will be facing a 2nd and about 17 now. Jackson?
He did not get touched at all on that blitz, and no, I don't think there's anyone on the Coco D-line you can afford to not at least put a hand on, and let alone just let him roll right through and hit your quarterback like that. I mean, that was a big sack for Coco, and that's a loss of about 6 yards. So that's big on 1st down, and great job by Coco, seeing a gap in that line and sending a blitz that goes untouched.
2nd and 17 for Shanks and the Bradford offense. There's that set they called a timeout on. And ball's out. And, that's the problem with the RPO. Shanks falls on it. But he pulled that ball too late back out of the stomach of Jaquez Kaysen. And in doing so, it went right to the ground because Kaysen didn't want to give it up. And now Bradford has gone from 2 consecutive really promising first downs to now 3rd and 21.
Yeah, it's a big mistake there to set you back even more yardage, and that's just, as you said, that's just trying to pull it out too late on an RPO, and it's a simple fumble, but that's one that could be detrimental, and especially in the yards that you lost. And that's something that, especially how much Bradford runs it, it's an uncharacteristic mistake out of an offense like this.
The H-back that is checked in, he says 34. Shanks rolls to his right, looking downfield, throws, and way overshoots his intended target on that one, which was number 4, Kellum. And it is now 4th and 21, and a drive that was so promising for Bradford abruptly comes to an end. And coming out the punt is Jeremiah McKenzie.
Yeah, as I said, this drive was going to be telling, and it is. I mean, that just a lot of mistakes there for Bradford. Something that
but
outside
they
of
came later in the drive.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Yeah, absolutely. And outside of their fumble, they hadn't really been making mistakes, and that time just a lot of uncharacteristic ones. And
this has got a shot to be downed here. That's a great punt, and
It is.
absolutely. Oh, he steps into the end zone. But does he get the ball down at the 1? He does. And the Tigers now, what a great play there, downing that football by, I believe that was Jamarian J.T. Hood that did that. Was that number 8?
Yeah, I think it was.
What a great play by Hood to put that ball it's at the 1, and it's 1st and 99 for Brady Hart and this Tiger offense. What a play. That's just a great play. He carried the ball into the end zone, did he not?
I think it's whenever he touches it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just down whenever he touches the ball.
He got his toes down there on the 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, good. Good for him. That's a good play. 1st and 10. Hart now will have a 5 wide receiver set here. No backs in the backfield. It'd be 3 wide receivers to the far side. Hart looks, fires.
Didn't even turn around.
Yeah, I mean, and the 5th wide receiver that time was Xavier Chappell. He's not generally part of the 5 rotation that's out there. Not sure why.
Yeah, he didn't even turn around for the ball there. And it's just interesting to be an empty set in the shotgun 5 yards deep into the end zone from your own 1 throwing the football. It's gutsy, and there it just doesn't work.
2nd and 10 for Hart. Throws, caught. Nice job on the far side of the football field as he turns and fires. That's Nicky Teeter, who caught the Coco touchdown. Teeter will pick up 8, and at least it's 3rd and 1 now, and the Tigers have not been able to run the football at all against this Bradford defense tonight, and we'll see what they do here as the bigger bruising back, Malachi Coney, stands to the right, now moves to the left of Brady Hart. 4 wide receivers to give us to Coney. Cuts inside. He'll have enough for a Coco Tiger first down. Just barely, but he has it.
Yeah, that's all they needed there. Just a quick run to keep the chains moving. That's a good job to get your backs off the wall at your own 1-yard line. Now you're outside the 10-yard line, and now you can kind of go back to running your normal offense, which is essentially what you want to do there. Just get that first down to kind of clear the air, and now a little bit more freedom if you're Coco's offense to kind of operate.
1st and 10 at the 12. Coney in motion. That'll put 3 to the right, and he's there as a blocker, but Bradford reads it absolutely perfectly on the wide receiver screen, and that'll be a loss of 4. It'll be 2nd and 14. They've been studying film. They saw it coming and tackled it well.
Yeah, the screens still just aren't working for Coco, and
That's their offense.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is a staple, but it's just not setting up in a screen, especially if it gets blown up. It's just going to go for a loss every single time.
2nd down and 14. Hart with a 3-step drop. He's in trouble. I thought he tucked too soon.
Yeah.
And he's going to be sacked. He'll actually, it's going to be a loss of 3 and that's a number 54 in there on the sack. That's Jalen Williams, the 5'10", 286-pound nose guard.
Honestly, it was good blocking by Coco. Looking at the replay here, he just stepped up. He stepped up into the defense.
He's got to get rid of that or find a receiver.
I think if he's not back to the goal line, he would not have ran that, but I think he felt pressured by his own goal line and tried to take off.
3rd down and 17. Hart again looks, fires, throws across the middle, intercepted. Maybe no, ball squirts out. But the ball was definitely in the hands
a flag
of
down.
Jeremiah McKenzie, and we've got a flag down.
Far side.
Yep. Let's see what the call is. It's not in the area of a hold. could be against Bradford, but if it's not a pass interference, then we'll see what it is here, because they're just going to mark it off. 15 yards would still have the Tigers short of a first down. Holding. So it's a 10-yard penalty, but it does give the Tigers a third, and instead of a 3rd and 15, it's now a 3rd and 5, which is a much better situation. The thing that Bradford last week, they turned the football over 5 times in that game against Pensacola Catholic.
Yeah, that's one there.
That's offsides, and that is going to be close to a Coco Tiger first down. So that's 2 huge penalties against Bradford in a row, and we'll see if this is enough to give the Tigers another first down. I don't know that it's going to be quite enough. And it is. That should be a first down. And it is a Coco Tiger first down.
Yeah, that's big.
Wow.
That's back-to-back penalties where Coco was going backwards, and Bradford was just playing good defense and pushing Coco further and further back towards their own goal line. And now, with back-to-back key penalties, you just kind of gift Coco a first down and let them keep moving the ball down the field now to their own 22-yard line.
Torrin Brazell, the senior, an uncharacteristic mistake of the Marshall commit, I believe Marshall, right? Look at this run by Malachi Coney. Coney across the 35. He'll go down at the 37-yard line. And if you're not familiar with Coco's 2 backs, Latricia Lane and Malachi Coney, they're like thunder and lightning. Coney is what I call controlled violent runner. He can turn on the Jets if he's got to, but he's more of a guy that likes to run you over. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 36-yard line. 7:41 to play here in the first half. The Tigers with a 7-6 lead. Coney breaks that tackle. He won't break that. Yes, he will. Look at Malachi Coney. What a run by Malachi Coney. Twice stopped in the backfield. He broke 2 tackles, split the middle, and picks up 5 amazing yards. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers.
Now, it's the most exciting 5-yard run I've ever seen. The fact, I think you literally said he's not going to break that one, and he somehow springs out of it, keeps going. I mean, that's just what Malachi Coney does. He's their hard-nosed runner, and he picks up 5 there where it looked like there was no chance he gets 1.
Hart gets it out for the wide receiver screen this time, but again, Bradford reads it beautifully. Yards after the catch for the Coco Tigers. The only thing saving this screenplay at all was Jamin Boggs there.
Well, even then, they blew it up nicely, but at the same time, Coco, that ball was past the screen 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He had to come back to get it, then turn around to get back to the line of scrimmage, which on a screen, you kind of want to keep it as close to the line of scrimmage, obviously without getting intercepted as you can, but to avoid going backwards.
Hart not exceptionally sharp at the moment for the Tigers, but working into the Brady Hart rhythm we all know. 3rd and 2 now. Throws caught. Nicky Teeter, first down. Coco near midfield. Just 7 yard in, and Teeter turned, and the ball was there. And the Tigers have it 1st and 10 at their own 49 with 6:10 to play here in the opening half. And we're going to get a timeout for a water break.
We get Bradford timeout, actually.
Oh, Bradford took a timeout.
No, you're right.
No,
my
water
mistake,
break.
my mistake.
Okay, yep, water break. The timeout situation is 3 for Coco, 2 for Bradford. And the Tigers moving the football. We'll see how much or how bad that turnover by Hart down there in the end zone comes back to haunt the Tigers, if indeed it does. The Tigers in search of their 6th state championship in program history. They hoisted their first title in 2008. They would win the next 3 there, 8, 9, and 10, under then head coach John Wilkinson. The Booker Tornadoes would put Coco in a 5-year hiatus until Bruce Judson and Javion Hawkins, Lorenzo Pratt and company would take out the Tornadoes and return to the state championship game where the Tigers would absolutely dismantle Mac Jones. That's right, the New England Patriots, Mac Jones and the Bulldogs in 2016. The Tigers would return in 2017 and 2018 and just had no answer for Jacksonville Reigns. The Tigers would not return until 2021, where they fell by 2 points to Cardinal Gibbons, and then last year the dramatic overtime win against FSU High marked program championship number 5, the one for the thumb, if you will.
Yeah, with all the talks of conference realignment again or sorts in high school football this past week, and just an interesting note, if Coco wins this game tonight, they could be the only ever 2S state champions if they win it back-to-back and then they do away with it. So
I will say this, the most impressive state championship performance I've ever seen from the Coco Tigers was in 2016. Lorenzo Pratt, Javian Hawkins, and Bruce Judson in that game, all with 70-yard touchdown runs. The Tigers rushed for over 400 yards against a great Bulls defense, and I mean they just ran over Bulls in that one. I mean, it wasn't even close. Here, it's 1st and 10 for Brady Hart and now Latrice Lane in the backfield. 4 wide receivers set, 2 split equally to each side. Ball at the 49-yard line. 6:10 to go following the timeout. The white hat says, let's go. And Hart wipes his hands on his towel. Teeter in on the slot to the right. Bragg on the slot inside. Bryant and Boggs split wide left and right. Hart turns a run blitz, and they absolutely timed it perfectly. What an absolutely great.
When are they going to whistle
play.
this down?
Yeah, well, that's Devin McBride. Forward progress will be a loss of 4, so it'll be 2nd and 14, Jackson. That's a great run blitz call by Jamie Rogers.
Yeah, I could see it. They brought one of the corners off the edge and came right in, and they just sent it from all angles there. They knew the run was coming. They guessed it perfectly and let it go. And the blitz gets to Coco big time for a loss. And Coco's had they have had some success on the ground, but as an overall unit tonight, I mean, Bradford's been able to stop the run game very well.
It's been a battle of defenses, and don't know that I expected this. And it's 2nd and 14. Hart drops back, sets, fires, throws, and that's going to be another either hold or pass interference because Boggs was flat held on the far side of the football field, and now it's going to be 2nd down and 4 for Coco. I mean, they grabbed his jersey again. I mean, eventually they had to throw the flag, and actually there's 2 of them there. And I don't know what Chaleel Cummings is arguing about. He absolutely grabbed the jersey of Javen Boggs.
That's 3 defensive holding penalties in a quarter and some change, or a quarter and a half here for Bradford. I understand stopping guys like Braggs, and it's difficult, and you want to limit them, but consistently holding, that's the 3rd. You're giving them first downs. I mean, he's already out of bounds.
Yeah.
He gets forced out. Yeah.
Hart,
but you're giving them first downs every time.
Throws, caught. This is C.J. Bragg with it. Bragg will have another Tiger first down. And, again, it's just a little stop and turn route there that'll put the ball at the Bradford 37-yard line, and the Tigers with 4:59 marching back down the football field. Once again, 7 times this year the Tornadoes held teams to less than 100 yards. Hart throws deep. Bragg grabbed his jersey again. That has got to be a pass interference. That's the game plan.
That was a touchdown.
Huh?
That would have been a touchdown if he doesn't grab him.
That's the game plan. And this is going to be either holding or pass interference on Brandon Williams. That's the game plan for the Bradford secondary. That's the 4th or 5th time tonight we've seen them literally just grab the jersey.
That was an easy touchdown for C.J. Bragg, too. He grabs him by the waist.
Great double move by Bragg.
Absolutely,
too.
But he had a step, and he's literally getting held by the belt, and there's nowhere to go. And that's, of all their holdings, I think that one, and that saves a touchdown. That's one. If you're
Definitely
a coach, it's
saved
like,
a touchdown.
Yeah, it's if as a coach, whatever, you saved a touchdown, but you're giving Coco another first down. If you're Coco, you'll just keep doing this.
They gave him a 50. They called it pass interference, which was the right call. So it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers now at the 23.
Yeah, if you're Coco, you'll keep taking these chunk penalties and keep moving down the field.
I mean, that's 3 penalties on this drive for 40 yards. Hart looking. Throws on an out. He's got to be careful. I don't like that pass at all as he throws that out route all the way across the field to Javen Boggs. That's an easy pick 6 if Chaleel Cummings steps in front of that. And I'm not sure why Cummings elected to play Boggs and not the ball there, because that was an easy pick.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, throwing the out, because he was kind of leaning to the left a little, throwing back to the right, and that's where the amount of time that ball gets to the player on an out route like that that's where it gets, as you said, for a pick 6, and luckily it falls into Boggs' hands and gets a yard, but it's less of the yard, more not the pick.
Hart throws, and this is blocked nicely up. Got to stay off his back. They do. I said they do, they didn't, and that is going to be a block in the back on the Coco Tigers, and that's going to come back 10 yards. The pass was complete, but the flag is going to go on Xavier Chappell. Yeah, he's putting the ball right where Chappell hit him in the back. Chappell tried to hold up, but he could. That was a nice job actually by the cornerback to turn his back around and give it. And here comes the white hat, so it's going to go backwards on the Tigers. That's exactly what that is. I want to say hello to Coco Tiger bowling coach Michael Bauer. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. And 4:04 to play, and that will set the Tigers back 10 yards. Holding and blocks in the back of the such are now just 10-yard penalties in high school. They're not spot fouls.
Which is good. That's a good change. So now it's 2nd and 18, though.
It's Latrician Lane to the right, 3 wide receivers to the right as well. Hart throws, corner route, Boggs turns, looks, and Hart had him beautifully run route by, I believe that was Boggs.
It was.
Boggs and Hart just
no, that was Teeter.
Or Nicky Teeter, just not a super accurate pass from Brady Hart because Teeter stopped and the DB kept going.
Yeah, I mean, that's one in the corner route. That's one they were throwing consistently in warm-ups, and it was good coverage for a while, but once it got to the apex of the route, Teeter broke off, and he had him at the pylon for a touchdown, and it's just short. And when he turns his head to look for the ball, it was just behind him.
All right, 3rd down and 20 now or 18 officially. And Latrician Lane in the backfield. Ryan Schneider says, you know what? I've got 3 timeouts on the board. Can't take them into the locker room with me, so let's take one now. And let's talk about what is in our playbook for 3rd and 18. I would think, Jackson, this is 4-down territory for Coco. And if you can at least get this ball up to about the 25-yard line, we were watching Gunnar Trout absolutely drill 35 and 40-yard field goals. The snap looked good on the extra point, so I don't. There's Miss Kathy Brown from Coco High School. Probably, well, she might not be on your screen at home, but she's on our big screen here. And we want to thank all of these great sponsors. Is she singing?
Yes.
God love her. Kathy Brown singing. Want to thank David Baker Law, Mr. Jim Williams, Haynes Environmental, Jennifer Harris, CAD Design and Estimating Group, AJ's Counseling and Consultation, Gamers Are Us, everyone that has contributed to raising the money. Sonny's Barbecue as well in Merritt Island. And Sonny's is getting ripped off because you can't see it with the scoreboard there, and I apologize to Mr. McNabb for that. Jim McNabb. Hart across the middle. Caught! C.J. Bragg cuts back down to the 9-yard line on a beautiful crossing route on 3rd and 18. He picks up 19. Jackson, that's a Coco Tiger first down.
Yeah, Bragg was wide open. That's just a quick post route from the slot. That's a great route. Good throw by Hart, putting the ball out in front of him so he can run with it and pick up the first down. That's perfect execution by Coco and a great play call.
Right back to the line of scrimmage. The give is to Latrician Lane. He cuts back inside, still on his feet. Lane in for a Coco Tiger touchdown. Latrician Lane, the sophomore, gets his in the 2S state championship.
Yeah, if he doesn't make that cut in the backfield, that goes for a loss, and that cut's huge. And that looked like the Coney run earlier as he just bounced off of guys and cuts back once, throws one guy off, and then dives for the end zone. And that's just a hard-nosed run by Latrician Lane, and Coco extends their lead on a 99-yard touchdown drive, mind you.
Well, we said it was 1st and 99. Well, somebody said, they're going to convert. Yeah, they converted. And Gunnar Trout on for the extra point. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it's a beaut, Clark. And with 3:33 to play in the opening half, the Tigers have opened up. It's still a one-score game, though. It's 14-6, Jackson.
Yeah, but that blocked extra point by Bradford on that opening or that touchdown drive, I think that's going to come back to be crucial. We've seen that a lot of times in high school football. It's just missed or failed or blocked. Point after attempts have come back to hurt teams because now you have to go for 2 whenever it comes down the line, which Which is what Bradford did to win last week to come to this game, was to get a 2-point conversion. But against Coco, that's going to be something they're going to have to do if they score again to tie this game up.
Coco will kick off to Bradford.
That was a huge play. Go back to third down by Bragg on the inside route. That sets up, that easy touchdown.
Bro.
Yeah,
I mean, you're right.
It wasn't an 18-yard pass. He had to go run for it, and it was wide open. It's a good throw by Hart to lead him too.
The thing that's beautiful about what just occurred for Coco is that your defense had 99 yards to sit and catch their breath.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. They're at full health, and some of these guys maybe be going two ways. I know Cummings is for Bradford, so he might be tired.
Right.
So
there's the kick.
This time they go all the way deep, but still not going to make it all the way.
Yeah, no, ball fielded at the 10 by Pollard. Hit at the 18, dropped at the 19, and the Tigers' kick coverage has been outstanding tonight, Jackson.
Yeah, that was great, and that's just a great tackle with the legs. Doesn't go high, goes right down on him, keeps him wrapped up at the 20. It's only a 10-yard return and shorter than it would have been if it was a touchback. So all in all, that's a win on the special teams unit for Coco to make that tackle in the open field on a shifty runner.
All right, buddy, you take the rest of the quarter.
Alrighty. First down and 10 coming here for the Bradford Tornadoes at their own 25, right down the middle of the field. Coco with one safety over the top. That is number 12 for him. Durant Guilford is
dancing.
Deep. Yes, he is.
The Tigers are all dancing. The entire dark side defense is out there dancing.
They're fired up. I mean, the momentum has swung back, and it's one receiver to the near side, one far, and a tight set, and it's going to be a give on the RPO. Breaks one tackle on the right side, cuts back inside is Pollard, and he's wrapped up and brought down by the Coco defense. I believe that was Pee Wee Robinson making the tackle inside, and we got a timeout or a clock stoppage here with 3:17 to go in the second quarter after a 2-yard run by Pollard.
That's the play that beat the Tigers for 53 yards on the opening play of the game. And the Tigers, Bradford has since run it 2 more times, and Coco has just eaten it alive since then.
Coco takes a timeout here with 3:17 to go in the second, so they have one left ahead of second down and 8 coming for Bradford. And yeah, the defensive adjustments for Coco have been obvious after an opening play went for 50-plus yards. Since then, it hasn't worked again. So Coco, Matt Diesel, and that group on that defensive side know how to adjust, and they saw it break one time. They knew what they had to fix, and they do well there doing so. As Pollard, another play where he almost, Shanks nearly pulled it too late again. He was really holding that ball, and then he finally let go, and by the time he did that, Coco was already crashing to the ball, whether he took it or not.
What's going to happen is he's going to hold that ball too late again. Somebody's going to hit him from the backside, and then that's going to be that.
Second down and 8 for Bradford. Coco playing over the top here with some deeper safeties. 2 deep this time. Shanks. They have 2 receivers split to the far side, and the rest are all lined up at the line of scrimmage. One back is Pollard to the right of Shanks.
Coco's in a 4-4.
Motion across the line is number 1 for Bradford. And they fake the give. It's a play fake, dropping back. Helmet comes off of a Bradford offensive lineman. Shanks fumbles the football and is sacked. He recovers it, falls back on it. But that is a big loss back to the Bradford 10-yard line for 3rd and long as Shanks is wrapped up and dropped for a loss.
Samadre Hawkins.
Samadre gets home, and he dropped the ball, fell right back on it. It was fumbled, and that is a big loss. And I believe Coco has taken their final timeout of the half. We'll see for sure here in a minute, but they are huddled up.
Samadre Hawkins became the program's all-time leading tackler last week against Booker. He had 15 tackles last week. He needed 11 to pass grading Redding, one of the greatest Coco Tiger defenders ever. And Samadre has certainly left his mark on this football program. And my goodness gracious, if Samadre can get out of here tonight with a state championship and the all-time leading tackler for Coco, that would be some kind of career at a place like this.
He's a humble guy, too. We interviewed him after the game. I say you did. And we asked him, how many tackles you get tonight. He said 9. And
yeah.
He said, I got to still get it in the state championship, meaning the record. Well, he had 16 tackles. He already had done it. He didn't know. He didn't give him credit for 7. He didn't give himself credit for 7 tackles, but that wasn't in his mind. It was to go out and win that game and go out and win a state championship. And he makes a big play there coming off and getting Shanks for a loss of 10 yards. It's 3rd down and 20 for Bradford, stuck at their own 10-yard line. And this is really the worst set of field position they've had to deal with all night. This is the deepest they've been in their own territory, and we'll see how they're going to be able to operate at their own 10. It is trips to the near side for Bradford, 1 the other way. So 4 receivers, 1 back is Pollard to the right side of Shanks for 3rd down and 20. Shanks drops back to pass. Blitz coming here for Coco. He's running around in the end zone, gets it away. That ball is dropped off the hands of the receiver with 3 Coco Tigers in the area, but it was still on target for Elijah Kellum, and it's dropped. And on 4th and 20, the punt unit is going to come out for Bradford, but a missed opportunity there on the scramble and pass by Shanks.
2:59 to go in this one, Jackson. And I'll tell you what, Elijah Kellum had that ball hit him right in the gloves. That should have been a catch and a 1st down. And now Bradford will have to punt, and Coco likely to get the football back here with 2:59 to go. 1 timeout and outstanding field position.
Coco may look to bring a blitz here and try and get a block. They're lining up the punter closer to the line of scrimmage than usual, trying to stay out of the end zone. It's just a kind of a quick kick, low drive, bounce over the head of the Coco return man. He's going to pick it up and try and make something out of it, but he's going to go down as they actually lose yardage on the return by number 8, it looked like, for Coco.
And that number 8 is having a night. Jamarion J.T. Hood for their special teams. He downed the football on the 1-yard line, forcing the 99-yard drive out of Coco. Now that's going to be a 60-yard punt, and the Coco Tigers are 55-yard punt. The Coco Tigers, Jackson, are taking over 1st and 10 at the Bradford. At their own, check that, at their own 47, but they got time to score here.
1st down and 10, Coco at their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers either side here for the Tigers. 1 back to the right side of Hart in the shotgun. 1st down and 10, Hart drops back, has plenty of time to throw. The pressure finally gets through. Hart is going to go down for a big loss as Hart standing for too long, and the pressure gets home for Bradford, and led in part by number 1 for the defense, Torin Brazel, who came into this game with a 2S leading 15 sacks. And he's a part of another one there. Him and number 51 get home, which is Jordan Daniels.
Yeah, that's his 2nd sack tonight, so he's now got 17 on the season.
2nd down and long here for Coco. Back to their own 36. Hart running around. Throw short. It is batted away and dropped by a defensive lineman, number 56, who drops Trent Jenkins.
Actually, Malachi Coney dropped that.
Or Coney drops it, and it's 3rd down and about 17 here for Coco at their own 36 as the dump-off pass doesn't work.
Well, it was supposed to be a screen, but the Tigers just did not execute it well. And as a result, Hart underthrew it. Coney had to reach back for it, nearly picked, and ultimately dropped.
3rd down and 17. Coco at their own 36. 2 receivers either side, but they're stacked up, 1 behind the other. 1 back to the right of Brady Hart. Stacking the D-line. Bradford has 6. They drop 2. Hart drops the throw. Throwing way high. It's intercepted by Bradford. Skies the pass. And now the return. Still on his feet. Inside the Coco 40. Inside the Coco 30 down the sideline. Out of the Coco 25-yard line. Intercepted by Jaquez Kaysen. And it was straight to him. And he returns it big. And great field position for Bradford with 2 timeouts and 1:55 to go in the 2nd quarter.
That's all on Brady Hart. He just sailed that one. I'm not even sure who he was throwing that football to, because there was not a Coco Tiger within 10 yards of that pass.
Throws it over the head of Nicky Teeter there, who was covered as well. And now 1st and 10, Bradford at the Coco 27-yard line. That's about a 33-yard return by Kaysen. And another drive for Bradford in which they're starting with great field position. And tonight, Coco's defense has had to stand up multiple times. Can they do it again?
Hart threw 2 picks last week, but he also threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. 14-6, 1:55 to go here in the half, and the Tiger defense will be called upon one more time.
1st down and 10, Bradford at the Coco 27-yard line. 1 receiver split wide either side, 2 H-backs behind the offensive line. 1 back split to the left of the quarterback, Shanks. On the option, keeps right up the middle, doesn't get far, and that's going to be a gain of 1.
Ball? No, he held on to it. I tell you what, that was a great job by the Coco interior lineman there, because Shanks saw the same hole that I saw, and it quickly closed up. So a really nice job in there by Lauren Ward and Pee Wee Robinson to close that hole.
2nd down and 9 for Bradford now at the Coco 26. They still have 2 timeouts, but they've let the clock roll down. 1:25 to go in the second quarter. You can see that clock.
Yeah, I don't understand
on the
this
screen.
time clock management here. It's not very good.
2nd and 9. Shanks, 1 receiver split either side again. He'll drop the pass, throws up the jump ball to Cummings again. It's caught inside the 5, and a flag comes in. That should be, I think it's going to be offensive pass interference.
And the right guy made the play because he chucked the receiver with his backhand that only the side judge could make. This should be against Bradford.
This should be against Cummings as he grabbed the back of the Coco defender, threw him down, and made the catch inside the 5 if it stands. But, again, I believe it's offensive pass interference.
Oh, it's got to be offensive pass interference. He threw the receiver on the ground with his left hand. Yeah, that's a great call. The referees in the stands might not like it, but it's the right call.
I don't think they ever will. And
that's a great call.
Yeah, I mean, Cummings has made a lot of great plays going up for the ball, but that time he didn't. He threw the DB down
well,
and
he
made
did
the
the
catch.
same thing before. Remember, he knocked him on the top of his helmet. It wasn't called. He didn't get away with it there, though.
So the big play is negated. 2nd down and forever now for Bradford at the Coco 41-yard line. And now that incredible field position, while still solid, gets them back up towards the 50-yard line a little bit more into no man's land around the 50.
Jamie Rogers doesn't like it, but when he sees the film, he'll certainly see where it occurred.
Trips near side for Bradford. 1 receiver far side. Pollard to the right of Shanks for 2nd down and 24. Shanks drops back to pass. Blitz comes. He dodges one defender, rolls left, sets it, lets it go. Coming back for the ball. It is batted away, incomplete. And that is closed down coverage to bat it away. And the crowd wants pass interference on that one.
Well, they may have a case there because he certainly face guarded on that one. And it depends what school of thought you come from as a referee. There has to be more consistency in the call. But the defensive back never turned around, and he just stuck his hand up at the last minute. By my count, that's pass interference.
Well, yeah, the receiver for Bradford had a few steps on him. He just ran him down and stuck his hands up, bats it away, no flag, so ends up being closeout defense that sets up 3rd down and 24 for Bradford at the Coco 41, 49 seconds to go in the half. They have 2 timeouts still to spare, but they got 3rd and 24 to go. Coco with no timeouts, so a stop here would essentially run out the half.
I don't understand why they don't have Jaleel Cummings on.
Shanks drops back to pass. Has time. Here comes the Coco blitz. He rolls out to his left. Motions his receiver deep. Lets one fly. One-on-one coverage. Batted away. And there's a flag on the coverage here.
Yeah, I don't understand this call. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, but it's going to be still short of a 1st down. That's a make-up call there because I don't even know where the pass interference occurred on that one. They were just battling for the football.
Yeah, I thought that was good by both sides unless it was something on the route before the ball got there.
He should have thrown that's the same guy that didn't throw the flag on box. He should have thrown pass interference on Coco the play before. Didn't do it. Makes the call up there. And they're going to pick it up.
They're going to wave it off.
That's
a
good job.
That's good. That was not pass interference.
And again, the referees in the stands are oohing and ahhing and
that was not pass interference.
But that's not pass interference.
Now, that was good coverage, one-on-one. Both those guys fighting for the football.
He had it to play before.
Yeah.
Where's their pass interference here?
No.
There is none.
4th down and 24. Bradford at the Coco 41. The punt unit will come out with 38 seconds to go in the first half. Coco with no stoppages left in their back pocket. So, I mean, if they get the punt off, then Coco will have a return, and that'll probably be it. So, unless the clock doesn't resume.
If I'm Coco, I'm not even running a play down here. I'm taking a knee, and I'm going to the locker room with an 8-point lead.
Absolutely. And quick punt, and the clock never ran, so Coco will have time, and they're just going to quick kick it out of bounds. So Coco will get it about their own 12-yard line with 31 seconds to play in the first half. Tigers up 14-6, and they'll get the ball back after, well, Bradford got it in good territory after an interception, and Coco's defense, all but one of their 3 turnovers offensively, all but one have been stopped without any points, that one included. On some big penalties. Again, I think that's the biggest thing for Bradford so far tonight. Defensively and offensively have been penalties, and 10-yard and 15-yard variants especially.
45 yards on the last Coco drive accounted. 45 of the 99-yard drive were Bradford penalties.
And pretty much all of them are in the passing game.
Yeah.
They've had offensive pass interference. They've had defensive holding and DPI. Coco's had some as well, but Bradford especially has given Coco some opportunities to score while hindering their own opportunities through the penalties.
And that's exactly what Mario Cristobal must not be here.
As Coco takes a knee, and they're going to take it into the locker room here as the first half runs out here from the 2S State Championship from Bragg Memorial Stadium. Our score, the Coco Tigers 14, the Bradford Tornadoes 6 in a defensive-filled, turnover-filled first half.
Sloppy game here as Bally's interviews head coach Ryan Schneider. I know how thrilled Coach Schneider must be to be interviewed right before going in for the half, but we'll be back coming up here in about 17 minutes. Oh, I'm right back on, though, right? I should be. They'll come back. Are we back on? Huh?
I'm not seeing a different one coming up.
All right, hang on. All right, everybody jamming out here as we get set to start the second half. And the Coco Tigers and Bradford Tornadoes locked in a tight one here. The Tigers leading 14-6. Jackson, a Tristan Lane touchdown there in that second quarter, and a wide open Nicky Teeter for the first Tiger score. And listen, mistakes and turnovers have been pretty much the story of the game for both of these teams, and I think the team that can settle their nerves down and get into the groove of what they did to get them here is going to be the team that wins this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the halftime adjustments and whoever adjusted better at the half is going to be the winner of this football game. I mean, I don't know if there's any paint left on the walls of either of the locker rooms, but these coaches are going to get these guys right for both sides, and we're going to see who made the right adjustments, who got their team dialed in the most, because in a game this close, especially in the state championship with everything on the line, it's going to take all you got to win this game. 14-6 is the Coco lead into the break. And out of the break, Coco won the initial coin toss and deferred, so they will start with the ball in the second half. And any score here could be big to start the second half and extend their lead.
Even a field goal.
Yeah.
And, let me say this. What a job Khalil Cummings has done on Javen Boggs tonight. Yeah. We've seen Boggs shred a 5-star, 2 4-stars, and a 3-star this year. And Cummings has done an outstanding job of slowing him down tonight.
And the kickoff is underway right down the middle. It's short, received at the 20 by Bragg. He's running back to the 15, now back to the 20, breaks one tackle at the 20, and it's only going to be a net gain of 2 yards as he's brought down by a few Tornadoes defenders, and it's going to be first down and 10, Coco at their own 22-yard line to start the second half.
Well, here's the thing, and I love Nicky Teeter, but he let his buddy hang out and draw it right there. He turned after Bragg picked the ball up, didn't touch anybody.
And there it is, first down and 10. Coco put it their own 23-yard line now. Still a safety deep for Bradford defensively. For Coco, it's Trip Stack on the far side. One to the near side is C.J. Bragg. Hart in the shotgun again with the back to his right. Now Hart.
Be nice to kill the music.
Hart a little bit up and down in the first half, not playing his strongest football. And the refs are going to stop it here to tell him to stop the music.
Yeah, I don't know if they thought this was the Pro Bowl or...
First down and 10. Coco at their own 23 to start the second half of action with an 8-point lead. Again, trips far side and a stack. Hart looks that way, throws on a slant, popped up in the air, nearly intercepted as it hit Teeter, popped up in the air and dropped on the interception by Devin McBride.
Yeah, he tried to force that one in where there just was no room, and that's just a great defensive play, great coverage. Second and 10.
And the quick passes for Coco tonight, whether it's a screen or a play like that on a slant immediately. He caught the snap, immediately threw it, and they just haven't worked against this Bradford defense. Second down and 10. Coco at their own 23. 2 receivers split either side. This time Hart drops back to pass again. Lets one go on the out route. It is caught, and he's going to be thrown backwards. And a hard tackle there, and it's going to be, we'll see where their forward progress marking, but it's still going to be third down regardless. For Coco, it's a gain of about 4 or 5 on an out route.
I can see how this defense has been as good as it's been over the last 2 seasons. 23 teams they've held to 1 score in 26 games with 16 shutouts in their 26 games in last season and this season. They're physical and fast.
Third down and 5. Coco at their own 29. 2 receivers split either side in a bunch. Hart drops back pass. Wide open. C.J. Bragg at the 40 for a first down past the 45-yard line. And Coco is going to pick up a first down to their own 45 or 46-yard line. C.J. Bragg hauls it in for the first down, and Bragg having a great night. And it continues with a first down catch for Coco up to their own 46-yard line.
That would put Bragg close to a 1,000-yard season, and he would join Boggs. It would be the 4th time in the third time in the Ryan Schneider era that he would have 2 1,000-yard pass catchers.
First down handoff. Tristan Lane stumbles, and he's going to get brought down for no gain. As the second he got the handoff, he slipped and got brought down quickly for no gain. Second and 10 coming for Coco at their own 46.
The other pair of the other 3, actually the second 1,000-yard receivers, Demarie Robinson, Isaiah Jones, and Willie Gaines, the other 1,000-yard receivers. And, of course, Javen Boggs, well over 1,000, and Bragg close, so we shall see.
C.J. Bragg trying to cross 1,000 at Bragg Memorial Stadium. Is it meant to be? Second down and 10. Hart drops back to pass. Lets one go down the sideline. One-on-one. Ball is intercepted. What a play. What a grab in one-on-one coverage by Khalil Cummings over the top. And an opening drive in the second half and a fourth turnover for Coco offensively and a third by Brady Hart alone. First down Bradford at their own 30-yard line.
The only guy this year to shut him down, Khalil Cummings, has done an outstanding job tonight on Javen Boggs. Cummings
comes in as a 3-star. He may just jump up after tonight's game as a big interception there in one-on-one coverage. Climbs the ladder, gets it. And it's first down Bradford at their own 30, but Bradford has forced 4 turnovers. They've only cashed in on one of those as Coco's defense so far is the MVP of the game as a whole unit. And we'll see Bradford will take over at their own 30 off the Cummings interception. And Bradford with an opportunity here to start the second half, scoring off on this drive, starting at their own 30. 2 receivers split to the near side with one back to the left. And they'll give to him, and Pollard is strung down for a big loss by number 4, Davion Hawkins-Ingram, as he shot right through again, looked like unblocked, and it was the give to Pollard and a huge loss of about 7 or 8 yards on first down by Davion Hawkins-Ingram.
You want to talk about the defensive MVP tonight. Hawkins-Ingram is living in that Bradford backfield.
That is a loss of 8 yards. Second down and 18 for Bradford at their own 22, and that's just a simple run play. It's not a sack for a loss of 8. It was a handoff that went for a loss of 8. Great job by Hawkins-Ingram shedding a block. And now second and 18. Bradford, 2 receivers split to the near side again. The rest bunched around the line of scrimmage. Pollard to the left of Shanks. One man in motion, and we got flags and a whistle. And this may be...
How good has that Coco Tiger defense been tonight? Well, Bradford's got 20 rushing attempts and 56 rushing yards. Jackson, they had a 53-yard play on their first play of the game tonight. Just 41 receiving yards. Coco, 17 first downs tonight, 24 rushing yards and 169 passing yards tonight. Total yards so far in this one, Jackson. Let's see here. Where's that at? 193 for Coco and 97 for Bradford.
And on second down and long, after a false start, breaks a tackle. That is Shanks. And he runs to the left side of the line and gets up to about the original line of scrimmage. That's a gain of 13 yards, but it still brings up third down and 10 as there's a false start in the meantime. And it's third down and 10 here for Bradford at their own 30 as Shanks kept it and ran to the left side, scrambled for a gain of 13 yards, took a hit at the end of it, and still picks up, or sends it to third down.
Shanks just 2 of 7 tonight for 41 yards, a touchdown, sacked twice.
Third down and 10, Bradford at their own 30. Again, Coco's defense trying to hold them scoreless off a turnover. And we're going to have a flag down here before they even get set. And another penalty on Bradford, and we'll see what it is. Guessing it's going to be something 5-yard.
Talking about Davion Hawkins-Ingram tonight.
Flags waved off.
He's got 4 solo tackles, 3 assists, 7. That's his 4th tackle for a loss tonight. So a great night for him. He's got a sack along with Samandre Hawkins in this one. So the Coco defense tonight in terms of tackles for loss, 5 of them.
That's something you have to look forward to at the end of this game. Bradford already takes their first time out of the half, still with 8:41 to play in the third quarter, as they're forced to take a timeout. And so they got 2 left. And if it stays this close to the end of the game, you're going to want those if you're Bradford.
So far tonight, in terms of what Bradford has done, punt, fumble, interception. That's Coco, sorry.
As Bradford is winning the turnover battle tonight, but they're trailing on the scoreboard, and it's third down and 10. Bradford at their own 30-yard line. Trips near side, 1 receiver split to the far boundary, 4 receivers, and 1 running back to the right of Shanks. Third down and 10 for Bradford at their own 30. Shanks drops back to pass. Pocket collapsing on top of him, and Shanks is sacked for a loss of 6 yards. It's going to be fourth down and 16.
And the
number 52 makes the play for Coco.
Pee Wee Robinson. Fourth down and about 16 now.
And, yeah, the pocket just collapses on him. Robertson pulls off his block and drops right on Shanks, and 4th and 16. So, again, off another, I think, the 4th Coco turnover. And once again, no points on the board for Bradford. And it's 4th down and 16 at their own 24. The Tornadoes back to punt. One deep for Coco to return. As this punt gets away. Line drive going straight out of bounds. That was not what he wanted. That was not a good punt. And now Coco takes over in Bradford territory. That only ends up being about a 20-yard punt. 1st down and 10, Coco at the Bradford 44-yard line, and an opportunity to cash in.
Your drive tonight, Bradford took a 6-0 lead in this game on a 15-yard pass from Shanks to Cummings. The extra point, no good. The Tigers would take a 7-6 lead. Brady Hart would throw a pass to a wide-open Nicky Teeter for 36 yards, 5 plays, 78 yards. Drive consumed 2 minutes, 12 seconds. And the final Coco touchdown so far in this one, 16 plays, 99 yards, 6 minutes, 5 seconds, capped off by a Tristan Lane touchdown.
1st down and 10, Coco at their Bradford 42. Bragg comes across in motion. They don't give to him. They give to Malachi Coney up the middle, and he goes for only a gain of 1 or 2 off the right side of the offensive line, wrapped up and brought down. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8 for Coco at the Bradford 41. And once again off the turnover, Coco's defense comes up big with a stop. Now if they can score here off that turnover that they had on the last drive, they can go up by 2 scores for the first time tonight.
Hart 19 of 27 tonight, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 169 yards. He's been sacked twice here tonight.
Actually, they only give him 1 yard. 2nd down and 9 for Coco at the Bradford 41. Still in the shotgun is Hart. 3 receivers bunch on the far side. Flag down, false start coming for the Coco Tigers. That's going to make it 2nd down and 14.
That's going to be on Jaquez Joyner, an uncharacteristic. In terms of the penalties tonight, 100.
Snap infraction again.
Yeah, another snap infraction, yeah. Penalties tonight, 8 for 76 yards on Bradford, 4 for 25 on Coco. Time of possession, Bradford leads it 14 minutes, 19 seconds to Coco's 13:45.
2nd down and 14, Coco at the Bradford 46. Trips far side in a bunch. They throw the quick screen outside. He's got some yardage. Break it outside. I thought the ball came free. A helmet came off for one of the Coco Tigers, and that's a solid yardage on the screen pass. It's going to be 3rd down and short. Boggs hauls it in and runs after the catch.
If Malachi Coney is out there, it's his helmet. Trust me.
Oh, DJ Bryant is the one. DJ Bryant's helmet comes free that time. As you have Boggs on a quick screen, pushes off of Bryant. Bryant got absolutely leveled without his helmet on. Glad to see him get up and walk off. That was a hard lick. 3rd down coming for Coco. 2 receivers either side now at the Bradford 36-yard line for 3rd down and 4.
4 down territory.
Absolutely 3rd down and 4 here. Hart lines up, no backs behind him. All in front. Hart drops back to pass. Quick slant. Low for Bragg. And I believe he hauled it in, and he did. C.J. Bragg for the 1st down for Coco inside the Bradford 30 on a quick curl. Actually, a quick slant. Ball low. I would go to guess that Bragg's got over 1,000 yards.
Well, he now has 7 catches for 63 yards tonight, so that one right there puts him over 1,000.
1st down and 10. Coco at the Bradford 28. Hart, quick drop, throwing on the out route. Dropped by Bragg that time. Right off his hands on the out route, uncontested. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Coney tonight, 5 carries, 22 yards. Tristan Lane, 4 for 13 for this Tigers backfield that gained 300 yards last week. Tonight so far, just 41.
They haven't really gone to the run game a lot tonight whatsoever. 2nd down and 10 for Coco at the Bradford 28-yard line. 6:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. And he motions Coney out of the backfield. Hart drops back to pass. Quick cut inside. It's Bragg on the screen. Bounces off a defender. Still on his feet, breaking to the outside. And that's a solid gain. It's going to be 3rd down and short for Coco at the Bradford 22 as Bragg hauls in the quick screen. Bounces off a defender for a solid gain.
Tough as nails. Spins off the initial hit, and he was hit hard. Spins off and picks up an additional 3 yards, putting the Tigers in a 3rd and very, very manageable, opening up the play.
3rd down and 4. Coco with the Bradford 22. Hard count doesn't work for Coco. Hart looks to the sideline. 2 receivers split either side. Coney to Hart's right. Hart drops back to pass. Throws the out route, and the receiver is flat out tackled. And a flag will come in as Teeter Well, again, got tackled before the ball got there, so that's going to be a first down for Coco and another defensive penalty to come on Bradford, something that they've had a lot of tonight in coverage. And that one I don't think was intentional, but he knocked him down before the ball got there, and the defender that was in coverage is down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what that was. That was a very good experience play by the receiver there, who kind of slowed up a little bit and allowed the DB to run him over, and he drew the call. That's just a good play. That's a good football IQ play.
Pass interference is the call. The DB is down with an injury, and we have a water break with 5:46 to go in the third quarter. First down and 10 coming for Coco. They'll be lined up inside the Gamers R Us red zone at the Bradford 11-yard line.
Current drive of the Coco Tigers, 5 plays and 31 yards. And right now, as you said, Jackson, the ball on the, what would that be, on the 11 now?
Yeah, it's the 11-yard line.
So
now what you got to look at here is last week for Bradford, they trailed into the fourth quarter. Just in the same way last week. They trailed 14-0 in the fourth quarter, and then they outscored Pensacola Catholic 22-7 in the fourth quarter and overtime. So this team knows how to play from behind. So if you're Bradford in a one-score game, you're not worried yet. That's why for Coco here, especially at the 11-yard line, you've got to cash in. You look back early in the first half, Brady Hart fumbles the 1-yard line of what would have been a sure-to-go touchdown drive.
Well, if Coco stuffs it in here with just 5:46, again, another time-consuming drive for the Tigers. Coco puts Bradford down by 15 with the way this dark side defense is playing tonight. They haven't even allowed 100 total yards of offense to Bradford tonight. I'd be a little concerned.
And I think for Bradford, if that does happen, that's where diversifying the playbook comes in. You got to go back to the pass for a little bit. That's where they got their touchdown. Khalil Cummings caught a touchdown pass, but running the ball, as we expected, is not, besides the first play of the game, which went for 53 yards, but besides that, running the ball has not worked on Coco tonight.
Brandon Williams for Bradford tonight, 13 tackles for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, this has definitely been a battle of the defenses and a turnover-filled one, but this is where you got to come in as a program. This is the last game of your season to win a state championship, no matter what the circumstances or the turnovers. This is where the team that can bow up and weather those mistakes, if you will, can win a game like this. First down and 10, Coco at the Bradford 11-yard line. Essentially, you can get a first down at the 1-yard line, but you're probably going to play this like goal to go, try and get in the end zone here. As there is 2 receivers split either side once again for Coco. Hart in the shotgun, Coney to his right hip pocket. 1 guy on the goal line for the Tornadoes deep. This one's a handoff off the fake jet sweep, but there's a flag down. And then Coco's going to lose 5 on this one.
And that is, again, the Tigers or the Tornadoes shooting themselves in the foot inside the red zone here.
False start on Coco. So now it's going to be 1st and 15 for Coco at the Bradford 16-yard line. And, I mean, you are in, I would say, the range of field goal, but if you're Coco, you would love to just punch it in the end zone here with an opportunity that you have with this field position. First down and 15 at the 16 of Bradford for the Coco Tigers. Now it's kind of a bunch formation. Play fake by Hart. Throws in a flat, wide open. It's low and dropped on a flat route for Coco. Incomplete pass. 2nd down and 15 to come, and that was out to Teeter.
He just did not cover Nicky Teeter coming off the line of scrimmage, and Brady Hart had eyes as big as $50, and for some reason short-armed it and underthrew him. Now, Teeter's got to come to that football. He can't stand there and wait for it. He's got to come make that catch, and he's got to dive for that. He's got to keep that ball off the ground. As much as that is on Hart, it is also on Nicky Teeter.
2nd down and 15. Coco with the Bradford 16. Trips bunch on the far side. Bad snap, ball on the ground. Hart picks it up. He's going to run with it. Hart still on his feet. Dives forward to about the 10-yard line as Hart nearly turns a busted play. And he turns it into some yardage to set up 3rd down. And I would say about 9 here for Coco at the 10-yard line as Brady Hart picks up a snap that rolled through his legs and ran it ahead for a solid gain.
That was nearly a fluky touchdown, but one that certainly would have made up for the fumble by Hart out of the end zone. And how big does that play loom right now? The Tigers have that touchdown on the board. It's 21-6. This one I would essentially feel like it put the game away, but simply not the case now. Still a one-score game, and you're looking at 3rd down and 9.
3rd down and 9. Coco at the Bradford 10. Man in motion is Bragg. They give to him on a jet sweep. Bragg looking to throw on a trick play. Bragg keeps, cuts inside, and he's dropped at the Bradford 6-yard line as it goes for 4 as the trick play on the jet sweep. Bragg looked to pass. Nothing there for him. He tucks it, runs, and brings up 4th down for Coco, and the field goal unit will take the field for the Tigers with 4:24 to go and counting in the 3rd quarter.
I absolutely love the design of the play call there. It wasn't there. Bragg is the backup quarterback. He made the right decision there as Gunnar Trout steps on. Trout this season 9 of 16. He's going to put this on the right hash mark, coming back right to left here, Jackson.
25-yard field goal for Gunnar Trout here for the Coco Tigers. Good snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. And with 3:56 to go in the 3rd quarter, the Coco Tigers extend their lead to 17-6 with a Gunnar Trout field goal.
And that's big. That now gives Gunnar Trout his 10th, 10 for 17 this year. Big kick there, as we saw by Miles Cito last year in the state championship. What 3 points can mean. And the other big thing last year we saw was Saito hit all of his extra points. And you know what? It ended up winning Coco the state championship last year. Here tonight, Gunnar Trout, he is 2 for 2 on extra points, and he hits a 25-yarder. Big night from the senior.
2-possession game for the first time tonight for Coco as they jump ahead 17-6 with under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Now Trout will head back out to the field to kick off once again, and Bradford will get the ball back. As many opportunities they've had in great field position tonight, Coco's defense has stood tall, and they're going to want to here as well.
The important part of that, 9 plays, 35 yards, Jackson, a 4-minute drive. 7:56 on the clock when Coco started that drive. Now just 3:56 left here in the 3rd.
And Trout to kick it away, and this is a deep one, and it is still returnable by Bradford from their own 9-yard line. It will be returned. Going to the left side, good block, setting up, get in the corner. Getting down the sideline, still on his feet, and goes out of bounds all by himself at about their own 40-yard line. It's a 30-yard return by Bradford. Elijah Kellum takes it and nearly got that corner to set for a big return.
Nice snap there by Chris Robinson and the holder, C.J. Bragg, and the Tigers convert that. 17-6, 3rd quarter, 3:48. Bradford with 2 timeouts left, Coco with all 3.
1st down and 10. Bradford at their own 35-yard line is actually where he went out of bounds. Bradford already took a timeout, so they have 2 left for the rest of this game. And they take over with 1st and 10. Score at the top of your screen, 17-6 in favor of the Coco Tigers. Chasing back-to-back state championships, Bradford looking for their first since 1966. 1st down and 10 for Bradford at their own 35. I formation for the first time tonight, and we got whistles pre-play. I don't see a flag coming in. Maybe an equipment issue. We have the officials on the PA. Nothing is said, and the play is rewound. 1st down and 10, Bradford at their own 35.
New look.
I formation. Give right up the gut to Pollard. And a new look, but the same result is the Coco defensive front making a stop. Very late whistle there as forward progress was stopped, but a player down for Coco.
Yeah, that's not a good job. That's not a good sign. That's Davian Parham that's down, and he is one of their top. He's one of their best players, offense or defense. Parham last year, of course, recovered that fumble in overtime against FSU High, in which the Tigers would go on to win their 5th state championship, and he is rolling around on the turf. And we'll see if they get up here. It's going to be 2nd and 8, as that was a 2-yard gain. Not sure what happened, whether he got rolled up on. Cramping shouldn't be an issue tonight. The weather is absolutely perfect here in Tallahassee as we have 3:39 to go.
Yeah, I got to say the weather's amazing. It's not too cold, but there is a chill in the air. Winter may finally be showing its face here in the state of Florida, but we are up in northern Florida, so.
Or as Keith Jackson used to say, I got to do it again. Tallahassee. The Coco staff now comes out, all of them, a lot of them, to check on their star linebacker.
Parham still down with a lot of discomfort. It'll be 2nd down and 8 coming for Bradford at their own 37, following the run from I formation. Parham's going to get some help off the field, but he is walking off.
How about, it takes me back last year to Cedric Hawkins, the Ohio State, who was at Ohio State now last year. Remember, he didn't play the first half last year because he had an ankle injury that he suffered in the state semifinals against Bradford, but was able to convince the coaches at halftime that he could go, and what a difference he made in the second half against FSU High last year in that state championship game. Don't know who they're putting in for Parham, but we shall see here.
2nd down and 8. Bradford at their own 37. 2 receivers split to the near, 1 far. Bunched up on the offensive line as well up front for Bradford. And Pollard is to the left of Shanks for 2nd down for Bradford. Shanks drops back to pass. They're going to run a quick screen. Cummings has it, cuts back inside, breaks 1 tackle, but he's tripped up after a gain of about 3. And it's going to be 3rd down and 4 for Bradford at their own 41 on the screen by Cummings.
Nice job on an ankle tackle there by Duran Guilford, the sophomore, who just simply reached out and grabbed Cummings by the foot, and it was enough to take him down. If he doesn't do that, it's 1st and 10 Bradford.
Or more.
Yeah.
3rd down and 4 for the Tornadoes at their own 41-yard line with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And again, stacking that offensive line, the offensive front for Bradford. Nobody split far, 2 receivers on the near side for Bradford. And they're going to hand off to Pollard right up the middle. And he's going to be short of the line to gain. It's a gain of about 2. And it's going to be, or a gain of 3. 4th down and 1. Bradford at their own 44-yard line. And this is going to be a big call for Bradford on 4th down at their own 44 with 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. And on 4th and 1, they're going to punt it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think there's any decision to make here. The Coco Tigers with 6 tackles for a loss tonight. You would hate for number 7 to come right here because it would eventually, it could be the one that puts the game away. But don't be surprised if they fake it here.
No, I think they're just going for it. 4th down and 1, they are going for it. Shanks up the middle, and he is
short.
Not going to get it.
He is well short.
And it's stopped by the Coco defensive front as Shanks tries to run to the left side of the line, and Wildcat, well, I'll wait for the official call here.
Yeah, that's short. The 1st down marker is
it's at the 45.
50, yeah, or 45.
He's a yard short.
Yeah.
They're going to measure, but
this is short.
And Shanks on the Wildcat keeper. Coco stacks the box and makes what we think is a stop, and it'll be confirmed in a minute.
Spot, by the way. Terrible spot.
Either way, it's definitely not. Well,
I wouldn't say definitely.
Yeah, hold on.
Looks short. It is short. Short by the.
Yeah, no, there's
Tiger football.
There's a good another football's length short.
I was going to say he was well short. The side judge over there seemed to pick up another yard for the ball carrier, but 4 plays, 9 3/4 yards, and the Tigers take over, Jackson.
And a gutsy call on 4th and 1. The dark side defense doing what they've done all night, making a stand, and they set up the offense with great field position and a shot to extend the lead late in the 3rd into the 4th quarter. 1st down and 10, Coco at the Bradford 45. 2:05 to go in the 3rd. The Tigers lead by 11.
Take a shot here on 1st down. Go deep.
And they're going to stack the offensive line. All 3 of their receivers on the left side bunched to the line. 1 receiver split far to the right. 1 back to the left of Brady Hart. For 1st down and 10, Coco, Hart turns, gives to Malachi Coney. Coney to the right side. Room to run, breaks a tackle. Coney breaks it outside, and he's going to pick up about 8 or 9 yards on 1st down as he had all the room to run over there as they stacked the left side, ran to the right. And it's going to be 2nd down and short for Coco on the run by Malachi Coney, who's kind of been the lead back tonight for the Tigers.
No doubt about it. Malachi Coney now with, let's see how many yards now. He's now got 6 carries for 29 yards. That's a big carry there on 1st down.
2nd down and 2. Coco at the Bradford 37. Quick throw, wide open. C.J. Bragg running after the catch inside the Bradford 30-yard line. And that's going to be a Coco 1st down. And that Bragg little hook and curl has been perfect all night. And Coco utilizes it well again there for the 1st down.
Bragg with a 7-yard stop and turn. And the ball was there before he turned. Nicely done by the Coco Tigers.
Coney in the backfield to the left of Hart. 2 receivers split either side. 1 safety over the top here. But it's a blitz coming hard by Bradford. And the run by Coney goes for a loss. And Bradford put 6 on the D-line. And they brought all 6 of them. And it stopped for a loss on 1st down.
Yeah, that's going to bring up second down and 14, 15 even maybe. And that play just took too long to develop. Bradford showed a run blitz. They brought it.
Loss of
and-
4.
Yeah.
Second down and 14 for Coco at the Bradford 31. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Once again, they bunch the receivers on the right side of the line. They fake the give. Hart, quick throw over the middle of the field. Caught inside the 15. Down to the 12-yard line on a quick curl inside and run after catch by Javen Boggs, whose name we haven't called as much as usual, but he makes a play there that puts him inside the red zone.
Same play they just ran to Nicky Teeter on the left side of the field. They run it on the right side of the field, a little bit more towards the middle and a little deeper towards the post, but nonetheless just as successful.
That was a great throw by Brady Hart to put it above the DB, lurking. Quick screen here on first down.
Right.
Bragg tries to get to the outside, and he's only going to get 2 yards. Second down and 8 coming for Coco at the Bradford 10-yard line. Last time they were down this far into Bradford territory, it ended in a field goal. And we'll see if they're not going to snap it again. So at the end of the third quarter here from Bragg Memorial Stadium at Florida A&M University, we head to the fourth quarter, the final quarter of the high school football season, as the Coco Tigers lead the Bradford Tornadoes into the break 17-6.
About that. All right, welcome back here in the fourth quarter. I'll take over here now for the fourth and final quarter of the Coco Tigers. Jackson brought up a great point during the quick break there, and that was who would beat who? Would the Tigers offense beat the defense or the defense beat the offense? And we have our answer tonight.
Yeah, after seeing what I've seen tonight, I just think this defensive unit for Coco is as impressive as it is. I mean, they've carried this game, in my opinion, for Coco tonight. And when the offense has struggled, their defense has come up big. And I mean, that unit, I think, could beat anyone in the state.
There we go. Coco Tigers going to have the football. Second down and 8 from the 10. And a little bit of Wisconsin in the house tonight as we're going to do the jump around.
That's
Jump
UNC.
up, huh?
Give it to UNC. Come on.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. But Wisconsin originated it.
We
You
do
want
it
me to
better.
do the bounce house?
Yeah.
All right. We'll say UC. What'd you say, USC?
UNC. Yeah.
Or UCF?
Nah, UNC does it. Basketball games.
Oh, yeah. No. This was started at Wisconsin football.
Oh.
Jackson trying to get me to give credit to UNC basketball. I'm sure they do it as well as Wisconsin does. I've actually seen them do this at the Citrus Bowl when Wisconsin played, and it blew my mind. They turned it on, and then I did the research on it and found out that, yeah, they actually invited the guy that sings this song to Wisconsin. As we get set to go here, we'll give you the third quarter updated game totals thus far. Hart, 25 of 35, 224, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. The leading rusher for the game is Willie Pollard for Bradford. He's got 9 carries and 65 yards. The leading receiver is C.J. Bragg. He's got 10 catches for 81 yards. Nicky Teeter, 6 for 76. Boggs, 6 for 43. And D.J. Bryant, 2 for 25. And here come the Coco Tigers offense to start the fourth quarter. And boy, would it be big if they could get into the end zone here. The final 12 minutes of the season for many of these Tiger play or of their high school careers. And Bragg will have throws, and he held him again, but they won't throw the flag. Bragg
On the post there in the middle field, but as you said, they got a hand around his waist there, kind of held him back from the ball, and it sails a little out in front of him. That's a tough one to let go if you're Coco, but now it's third down, and you want to try and punch it in here. You take a field goal, you go up by 14. You take a touchdown, you go up by 18. So
yeah,
there's definitely a difference.
Big difference. All right, Brady Hart. Coco's going to take a timeout here. They're going to take their first timeout in the second half, but I think this is a good timeout here. Remember, the last time they did this, it was third down and 18, and the Tigers came out with a beautiful play across the middle to C.J. Bragg to pick up the first down. They picked up 20 yards, and would eventually get into the end zone on that drive. Let's see what they dial up here for 3rd and 10. The Tigers can pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown, but you would like to not have to kick the field goal because it still only puts you up 14 very, very, very early in the 4th quarter. And as you mentioned earlier, Jackson, this team put 14 points on the board in a hurry last week against a very good Pensacola Catholic defense.
And the difference is with the touchdowns, a 3-score game, and well, that could be a big key in putting this one away and putting the state championship in the hands of Coco. You go up by 3 scores in the 4th.
You don't even maybe get 3 possessions.
Yeah, especially how long Coco's drives have been.
Yeah, I mean, Coco is, currently, let's see here. This particular drive, well, that's all of them. Right now, 2 minutes, 5 seconds, number of plays, 6 thus far, 34 yards to this point. So the 7th play of this drive coming up for Coco following a stop on 4th down against Bradford. And the Tornadoes, the Tigers will empty the backfield. They'll have trips bunched near side left. Teeter in motion, fakes the jet sweep, shovel pass inside to Boggs. Boggs down to the 4. Decision time again for Ryan Schneider, and I don't think there's any decision to make here. You take the points, and here comes Gunnar Trout.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to take the 3 here, but that's a play that sets up, and either you go all the way into the end zone on a play like that, and a little shovel pass on the fake misdirection, or it gets stopped like that. I mean, it's really all or nothing on a play like that, and whether the defense bites or not. It looked like for a second that Boggs could have broke it, but Bradford got home on it, and now they're going to hold him to a field goal, if any.
All right. Robinson, the snapper, Bragg, the holder, Trout on the right hash mark, the kicker. Robinson gets it back to Bragg. The kick is up, and it's good. And Gunnar Trout and that Coco Tiger kicking game has rebounded in a big way tonight. And Gunnar Trout hits a 23-yarder, and the Tigers cap off an 8-play, 38-yard drive and now lead it 20-6.
No flag on the play, but Davion Hawkins Ingram gets flop of the year on that one. He stood up, got tapped after the play, and literally falls backwards with his arms up. No flag, but good effort.
Time of that drive, Jackson, 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and Willie Pollard will go back deep for the Gunnar Trout kickoff here, and Coach Jamie Rogers starts to walk up and down the sidelines with a bit more of a brisk pace as we have 11:07 to go, and there's Ryan Schneider on the big board here at Bragg Memorial Stadium at Ken Riley Field on the campus of FAMU. And right now, the Tigers aren't dominating this game by any stretch of the imagination, but the issue we said coming into this one tonight, Jackson, was what could this Bradford offense do against this Coco defense? And right now the answer is not a whole lot.
Yeah, they go back to the pooch kick here.
Yeah, back to the 29, and he'll get out to the 35-yard line, and that's where Six Shanks and this offense will come back onto the field. And when you look at, this game tonight, Bradford has 68 rushing yards. They have 45 passing yards. They have 105 total yards of offense tonight, Jackson. And I think the thing that they almost have as many penalty yards as they do total yards. They have 87 penalty yards, which is, it's a lot, but it ain't hateful. But you only have 105 total yards of offense.
Yeah, absolutely. That's crucial in this game.
Shanks with Pollard to his left. They fake the end around there with Shanks, and nice run, or with Pollard, I should say. Shanks keeps it, and he'll pick up 8, and it'll be 2nd and 2 as they fake the little running back end around there. And
Parham is back on the field for Coco, which is a good sight for them to see after he went down and out the last drive.
Yeah, it didn't look good for him coming off. He was limping. Shanks tonight, 16 carries, 16 rushes for 50 yards. This time he does give the ball to Pollard, and the Tigers just eat it up. And in there to make the stop that time, I believe, was O'Keefe's battle. It was either 20 or C.J. Hester, one of the two, gets in there to make the stop.
That's 20.
20, yeah, that's Oki's battle. And it's going to be 3rd down and 4. And I don't think if they don't make this or make a yard on this, I don't think Jamie Rogers goes for this one.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
they're
hard.
in that position yet.
Well, with under 10 to go with 2 timeouts, if you get it close enough, if it is 4th and 1 again, I mean,
I don't know.
if you take the risk one time, there's less time.
I think if you're Shanks, they're going to throw the ball here, and that's a great play to Khalil Cummings. And Cummings breaks 1 tackle, and he'll get out of bounds, and that's going to be a Bradford 1st down to the near side of the field here. And he does creep into Coco territory with 9:41 to go. Tigers played off press coverage that time, and Cummings took full advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just a quick screen to Cummings and letting him be an athlete like he's listed on the roster, make playmaking ability, cut outside, pick up the 1st down. It's a simple play. It's a quick out pass, but it's one that gets you a 1st down, and that's exactly what you want into Coco territory.
1st and 10 at the Tiger 49. Shanks with 2 H-backs, and he does keep it straight up the gut. Big hole. Shanks still on his feet. Slips down trying to cut back at the 38, but he picks up 13 more yards, and that is going to be another Bradford 1st down on a nice play by Dejon Shanks.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse for Coco. They're lucky he slipped down, but he cut through a hole, and Shanks made a big play for Bradford there to pick up another 1st down at the Coco 38. That's just a good run by Shanks to keep, and broke 1 tackle and picks up a big 1st down for him, moving well down the field.
And this is exactly what Shanks did the last time. He keeps it again up the middle, and the Tigers again give up 5, and it'll be 2nd and 5. Shanks now with 18 carries in the game for 67 yards. He now becomes the game's leading rusher, the dual threat. Check that, 18 for 68. Shanks again turns, this time gives the big back, number 14 in there, and the Tigers hold him short of a 1st down, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Good play as Jaquez Kaysen has nowhere to go but down.
It's a big 3rd down for Bradford at the Coco 30. This is 4-down territory for him, and 3rd and short. But if you try and run the ball, I mean, there's a chance Coco stands it up, or they've been able to get good yardage on some. They've ran efficiently tonight a lot of the time, but a vast majority of the time, Coco's been making plays in the backfield.
Shanks looks, pumps, throws way over the head of Khalil Cummings, and that's a bad pass by Shanks. I don't understand the play call on 3rd down. I mean, I guess if Shanks makes a good throw, he's still short of the sticks, but we'll see what they did. They're obviously going for this on 4th down, and this could be the game here with 8 minutes to go. Shanks with
Coco still getting set.
Coco shows blitz. They fake it. Shanks up the gut, and the Coco Tigers dark side defense stops them again. Lauren Ward, as well as Javion Hilson, and the Tigers will take over. 1st and 10.
Yeah, this
with 7:52 to go in the game.
Yeah, this offense for Bradford just hasn't been able to finish these drives off. They've been able to get some long drives. They've been able to make some plays, but Coco's defense and the big plays on the 4th downs and stuff like that essentially has been able to just make the biggest plays in this game. And right there is one of the biggest ones on 4th down and 3 with 8 minutes to go. You know, so much of the game is resting on that play and making the play for no gain on Shanks, who was able to run for 13 yards and 5 yards in the same exact play on that drive. They're able to stand it up that time and get a turnover on downs. And now Coco takes over with 1st down and 10 at their own 30.
Brady Hart now with 2 wide receivers split equal to each side, turns, gives, and there is no reason to put this football in the air, as the Tigers should chew up every bit of that 40-second play clock moving forward. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they go to the run there right at the middle. Bradford's there to stop it, but Coco is probably going to stay on the ground until maybe 3rd down where they want to move the sticks, but clock runs.
It just depends how far they got to go.
Yeah. No gain on that one, though.
Hart, 2nd and 10. Quick pitch out to Malachi Coney. Coney cuts inside. Don't know he made the right read block, but you know what? He ends up picking up 8 yards anyway. It'll be 3rd down and 1. And another 40 goes up on the play clock. And the Tigers don't have to snap this ball until the 6-minute and 20-second mark to go in the game.
Yeah, for
Another
Coco.
first down here, Jackson, would actually give the Tigers another minute and 20 to burn if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think the jitters are definitely gone in the second half here for Coco. I mean, that's a quick pitch they dropped last week against Booker for a fumble. This time, it's just executed perfectly for him to set up 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1 for Hart and the Tigers. Hart peeks over. Schneider, hands left, right. Looks like he's doing the YMCA. Turns, gives. It's going to be a first down if he turns it in. He does. It is. Nice play by Malachi Coney. 1st and 10 for the Coco Tigers at their own 46 with 6:20 to go.
Yeah, this is normally a very shared backfield between him and Lane. Lane normally gets the edge, but tonight they have given the head rushing and the head reins to Malachi Coney, and he's done a great job tonight. Lane got the touchdown, but Coney's been the workhorse back, and he picks up a big first down for him there, and that's a timeout taken by Coco, actually, with 6:17 to go.
Yep. Hart tonight, 26 of 37, 228, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Coney, 10 carries, 45 yards. Lane, 4 carries, 13 yards and a touch. C.J. Bragg, 10 catches, 81 yards. Teeter, 6 for 76. Boggs, 7 for 47. The Coco Tigers tonight with 53 rushing yards and 228 for a total yard of... I guess they don't total. So I will. 281 yards of offense tonight.
Thing is, for Coco, still with 6:17 on the clock, but they've had drives tonight that have spanned that much time.
Here's the big thing for Coco tonight, and here's the thing that's impressed me against a very good Bradford defense. The Tigers are 7 for 11 on 3rd down tonight. The dark side defense has held Bradford to 4 out of 11 on 3rd down. Tigers 7 out of 11.
7-11, always open, and they've been on 3rd down.
That's the big number right there, Jackson. 0 for 2 for Bradford on 4th down. If you look at 3rd and 4th down tonight, Bradford's 4 for 13.
Especially those 4th downs. I mean, that killed 2 of their drives in good territory. And that's been the thing, as I said, just finishing drives. It's not that Bradford hasn't had any offense at all. The drives that they have, they just haven't finished them with any points at all.
The majority of Coco's yards tonight on offense on 1st down have come via the passing game. They have 103 yards tonight on 1st down. So we'll see what they do here. They're 9 of 11. Hart's 9 of 11 on 1st down tonight. 1st and 10, ball at the 46. Hart doubles, Teeter in motion. He gives actually fakes the Teeter. Ball's out. And this, they do scoop and score or did not. Ball's out again. And I think Coco got it back.
Coco got it back.
Holy cow, Coco got it back as Bradford was looking like they were going to be in for a scoop and score. That's a change of possession. This will be first and 10 Coco at their own 20.
That's a test of your audio casting skills to try and detail that. So it's a fumble.
Well, he was down. That's a ridiculous
Yeah,
call.
He was
down. Should have blown the whistle right there.
It was called the fumble, and then it could have been scoop and score. Bradford loses the ball, kicks it, and then they run it back inside the 20. Coco strips it out. Teeter recovers. 1st down, Coco. The ref sounds unsure of it, but it is 1st and 10.
40, and the chain gang is going to have to move. That's the right call. If you're going to call a fumble there, which they did, they shouldn't have because both his knees were down. I don't know what the official's looking at. But he fumbles. The defender fumbles. Teeter picks it up, and Coco now has the ball. But, if I'm Ryan Schneider, with the clock stopped, I may take another timeout, call my guys over and say, look, what are we doing here? Cover up the football.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you know this, but do they have review in state championship games?
Not in Florida.
Okay.
And Coney is a nice job as he's tripped up. I tell you, if Coney isn't tripped up right there.
Chasen Clark does it.
Yeah. He might still be running. But all this does is take more time off the clock. I don't know why the play clock's down to 3. Coney just hit the ground. They're going to have to reset the play clock here. They do, and it starts with a fresh 25. 5:37 to go. 20-6 Coco Tigers here. The Tigers have not been, this is by no stretch of the imagination the best state championship performance ever, but a lot of credit has to be given by Bradford and the resiliency of this Coco team. Inside, and it'll be 3rd and 4. This has not been a pretty game. It's been a very physical game. It's been a game that we've seen multiple turnovers in. And in the end, it appears as though Coco, well, I'm not going to say anything yet.
Well, under 5 to play now. I mean, yeah, these nitty-gritty games are what state championships live up to be, and this is where you see the teams that won it the most, and you've got to come out and fight in a tough game like this. And, well,
Hart, 7 on the play clock. He's got to hurry here. 4, 2.
they're not going to get it off.
No, they're not.
Play clock's already down.
And the referee was just waiting for that thing to click 0. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 10 now with, actually, Schneider takes a timeout before the flag is thrown. So he saves the 5-yard penalty, but it'll be 3rd down and 5. And Schneider's telling him, you got to finish. This is where you have to finish.
Yeah, Coco's got 1 timeout left, 4.5 minutes to play. It's a huge 3rd down with only 4.5 to play.
First down here, essentially, I feel like, because they're going to run the ball 3 more times. You take another minute 20 off the clock, then you're down to about 3.5 minutes. Bradford doesn't have the quick passing attack to march down the field in 2, 3, 4 plays. Coco will play too deep. Bradford doesn't have that type of offense. Their offense, averaging 200 rushing yards a game, isn't built to come from behind late in the 4th quarter. They managed 14 points last week against Pensacola Catholic, but they also turned the ball over 5 times in the game, putting themselves in that hole. It was their defense that helped bail them out last week, giving them the ball back on several occasions. So we'll see. 3rd down and 6 now for Coco. 5, we'll call it 3rd and 5. 4:30 to play in the game. Hart trying to draw him off. That worked earlier tonight in this one.
Again, the play clock running down.
Yeah, clock is down to 8. But they'll get this off. And, oh, wow, they switch up here. That's wild. And that's a quick pitch to Coney. And he gets outside. Coney's got a block. Does he have the 1st down? Check the spot.
It should be, and that was Latrice Lane actually coming in.
Latrice Lane, yeah.
And I think he got the 1st down. They almost didn't get that play off either, but they did, and it goes for.
He marks it short. It's going to be 4th and 1.
I thought for sure he got that.
You got to stretch that ball out with Tristan Lane, so it's 4th and 1 here.
I think Coco's got to punt.
You got to punt this football.
They're at their own 29-yard line.
You got to punt this football. Or at the very least, run the play clock down.
Well, the clock's not going to move. He went out of bounds.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the play clock will.
Yeah. So, yeah, the offense.
Down, think about it, but they trot on Gunnar Trout. And back deep for Bradford will be their quarterback, 6 Shanks. And that's a nice kick. And it takes a bounce at the 37, and it'll be touched at the 40. And with 4:14 to go, the Bradford Tornadoes need 14 points.
Yeah, looking up here in the booth.
First down.
Yeah, it was a yard short.
He stepped out.
Yeah, it was a yard short.
He was short. The Bradford Tornadoes.
They got to score quick here.
Got to do.
They got 2 timeouts in 4 minutes.
They need to score very quick.
Down by 2 touchdowns.
I would say they got to score. It's 4:14 to go. That ball's got to be in the end zone in the next minute and 30 seconds. That's just me.
I would say so.
Shank brings the back out onto the field. I think the interesting thing here is we've not seen Pollard as the main back that they're focusing on. It's been Jaquez Kaysen back there for Bradford.
Pollard broke the 50-yarder on the first play.
Yeah, I know. And he looks to throw. He pumps, throws again. And
wow.
I tell you what, That's a good play by, who's that number?
Jay-Sean Smith.
Who is that?
Jay-Sean Smith.
Jay-Sean Smith. But he jumped it, and if he doesn't touch that ball, Khalil Cummings is gone.
Yeah, like the Minneapolis Miracle that Stephon Diggs had, where
Yeah,
you
right.
overcommit on it, you miss. It's a touchdown. If you get there, it's a great play. In that case, it was a great play. Gets a hand on it, bats it away, coming to the ball. So, I mean, it's a good play on the field. But, yeah, that high-risk, high-reward situation on that one.
No doubt about it. Coming up after the game tonight, our post-game show will be live on the field. Stay tuned here to the Brevard Sports Network. Caleb is down on the field now, so we'll go live with the championship presentation. Shanks whistles.
This would be a tough
Timeout.
penalty.
Timeout, it looks like. Nope.
No. Delay of
game.
Now it's not first down, it's second down and 15. So
That's a tough penalty to take here.
Penalties have been big for against Bradford tonight.
Yes, they have.
And they've done a much better job in the second half of no pass interference, no defensive holding, but still penalties like that, whether they're 5 yards or 15, that's crucial when you're trying to drive down the field.
10 for 92 tonight. Coco 5 for 30. Shanks play action here, and he just
that's
who's he
intentional
throwing the ball
grounding.
to? That's intentional grounding.
It didn't get back to the line.
It doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. How does he not throw a flag there?
Unless he's out of the tackle box.
Unless he's saying that number 14, Jaquez Cason, was the intended receiver who was face down on the turf, by the way, I might add.
Even then, you're throwing it in the dirt. You save time, but now it's 3rd and 15, so nothing comes out of that play at all.
So they're obviously going to go for this here. This is 4-down territory. And you just got to think that, Coco can get this stop. I think it would all but wrap up that 6th state championship for the Tigers. Shanks rolls to his right, stops, in trouble, throws, and no shot whatsoever for
looking for
Jason Clark there.
Their Marshall commit linebacker.
Yeah.
Looking at a tight end position there, and it's just overthrown on the run. And now this is it. If you're Bradford, this is for your season. There's 3:54 to go, but it's 4th and 15. And
I think they're going to punt.
I do not like that call. I don't like that call. Coco's going to run enough time off. You're not going to be able to score 2 or 3 times. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know that I like this unless they fake this, but
15 yards, I
don't
wouldn't
like
fake
the fact
it.
that they're lining up the punt here.
And they will.
They will punt the football. That's an unusual call, and it's a line drive kick right to Chason. Chason slips again, but stays on his feet, and he gets the ball down to the 48-yard line. And the Coco Tigers, Jackson, are 3 minutes and 43 seconds away from a 6th state championship.
Yeah, I do not get that call at all. I have no idea why you punt that football there. I get it's 4th and 15, but you have 3:40. You have 2 timeouts. So basically, I mean, and especially with the field position Coco's in now, they're in Bradford territory. If they get a few first downs, either they run the clock out or they're able to kick a field goal or something and further their lead. I mean, I just don't get the gain out of punting it. And I understand you might want to trust your defense, but, I mean, they've played well tonight, no doubt about it, but Coco's offense is still one of the best in the state, and you're gambling on your defense to stop that.
Hart turns, gives, and my goodness gracious, he fell down and absolutely got trucked with Tristan Lane, and Bradford's going to have to start using their timeouts too.
Yeah, because there's no 2-minute warning. So
no, they got 2 timeouts left in 3:36 here,
Make
and
it
they
one.
will take one of them. Well, Jackson.
Today's attendance, 3,500.
3,500. I tell you, as you look back on this Coco Tigers season, I'll say it again. I've said it 1,000 times this year. This should be a 15-0 football team. It won't be because Broward County officials took a win away from Coco this year with their absolutely horrific clock management. But they're 14-1. They're going to win a 6th state championship, barring some unbelievable miracle. And this program continues to be the blueprint for high school football success in East Central Florida.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing for Coco this season for me is in the past years the success with Davin Widener and Blake Boda. Those have been seniors.
You go back before to Diego Arroyo.
Even then, but now you bring in Brady Hart as a sophomore. You got him for 3 seasons. You got Lane for, I think he's a junior. So you have him for another, I think.
You have
Boggs is definitely a junior. You have him. Many of these players are coming back. Yeah, you're going to lose more than you did last year, but still the core of this team is coming back. And with the transferring and how all that is, with how hot of a spot Coco is going to be, this team's going to replace whatever they lose, and they're going to be just as good or better next year, which is crazy to think.
And they should be beating Bradford by 21. Hart fumbles at the goal line. Ball just comes out. This is Tristan Lane. One runner to beat or one tackler to beat. Down to the 35. That's a first down. And Bradford will probably take their final time out here as the clock continues to run. And the Coco Tigers let the celebration begin here. And you can kind of see them.
Got to watch the Gatorade.
Yeah, got to watch the Gatorade.
First down, Tigers.
And they keep that one timeout left for Bradford. They don't use it on that one.
Just an outstanding season. Ryan Schneider, back-to-back state champions. And I want to talk about Ryan Schneider for a minute because, you know, coming in and taking over for John Wilkinson was not an easy thing to do as Tristan Lane is tackled hard. It takes over for a guy that won 4 state championships. And usually when you're the guy that takes over for the legend, things don't go well. But Ryan Schneider has done this his way from day one. And, you know, he's going to win his 2nd state championship. He's going to go back-to-back. Now, next year, we'll see what happens. If they get the 8-team open division, Coco would have had to play
Mandarin
in the first round. They would have been the 3rd-ranked team behind Chaminade, Madonna, and whoever that 2nd-ranked team was. But Coco's earned the opportunity to be straight up the gut like Tristan Lane down to the 20, and that's another Coco Tiger first down. And right now, as long as Mario Cristobal's not in the house, the Tigers should be able to take a couple of knees and get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I said with punting the football. It's just now they're in such good field position. If you get a stop, Coco can kick a field goal, go up by 17, and then it's the 3-possession game anyway. So, I mean, with the position they're in field goal range. They're in run-out-the-clock mode anyway.
Bradford still has that one timeout left, but there's 2 minutes to go here. Coco's going to run this clock down. They'll snap it at about the 2 or 1 second mark. And coming up after the game tonight, Jackson and I will be on the field with our post-game live. Turns, gives Tristan Lane outside. Stay in bounds, son.
He goes out.
Not. He gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 1:38 to play. If you know, if there was the theoretical spread in this one was 14. Well, there you go.
That's pretty good. Spot on.
Right? Want to say hello to Dr. Andrew Ramjet, who's watching, and miss you, buddy. Hope all is well with the Florida Coaches Coalition and the Coco Tigers. And as the Bradford faithful begin to cheer for a 14-1 season. A nice job by Jamie Rogers. He's going to go 27 games. He's going to go 26 and he went 14-1 this year and 12-2 last year.
26-3
in the last 2 years. That's a hell of a job, Jackson.
Absolutely. And yeah, for this team now, Coco is going to be 3-0 all the time over Bradford. So, however the realignment, if FHSA changes things, I don't know when we might see these teams go up against each other again. But these last few years, they've given each other quite the battle.
Under the new system next year that the FHSAA wants to do, which they will vote on Tuesday, Bradford would be playing South Sumter in this state championship game.
Which Max Prep still has ranked above Bradford. They still have South Sumter ranked above them after the Coco loss.
I've seen South Sumter. Bradford will run a clock on them.
Wow. All right. And Bradford takes their last time out. So
Bradford would beat them like a drum. I'm sorry, but I saw South Sumter, and that's what I believe.
What I'll say here is for Coco, This defense played incredible in both of these state semifinal game, or the state semifinal and the final, holding them to not, but the combined score to 9 points in the last 2 games of the season. And this defense came up big.
Yes, they did. 91 seconds. I want to say hello to Bobby Boda out there, the father of Blake Boda. Back-to-back state championships on the horizon here, and what a job. I tell you what, as far as state championship game performances go from a Coco Tiger quarterback, I've never seen one better than one Blake Boda put on last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And the biggest thing here as well is I remember back in April, sitting down with Coach Ryan Schneider, all of us just talking, and Schneider goes, you know what, I think I might have the best Coco Tiger team I've ever had. And in my head, I'm saying, no way. And that's, with how many young guys they have, I don't believe you. I didn't say that to Coach Schneider because, well,
we were watching
he's probably,
the draft.
We were.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything because, he probably knows more than I do about Coco. But the fact of the matter is, he was right. This team is special, and he knew that coming into this season with how much youth that they had, and a sophomore transfer quarterback and young guys all over the field, a sophomore running back in Latrison Lane, and the fact that they go out here and win another state championship with all these new guys and the returning guys just proves that Coco's got something special, and this is a dynasty, and that's going to keep rolling for this. I don't know why it would end.
So we're going to log off immediately when the clock strikes 0 so that I can get down on the field and get this post-game show going. Caleb is down there right now. Hopefully he knows to go live for that. And so I want to thank all of you because this will conclude. Now, I also want to say football season's not quite done yet because coming up is the Brevard County Senior All-Star Game, and there that is on the screen there. So make sure you make arrangements to come to that coming up, not this coming week, but next week at Melbourne High School. We'll have the broadcast, and we'll be announcing all of our major awards. We're going to release the coaches Coach of the Year and Coordinator of the Year coming up this Monday here on Brevard Sports Network. Final 41 seconds for the Coco Tigers. 4th down here. Hawkins Ingram under center. And
He handed it off to another big man.
yeah, and Bradford will take over with 35 seconds to go. I want to thank all of you. And we will be back home in the wee morning hours here in about 6 hours. And I'll be right back out at Camping World Stadium tomorrow for the Pop Warner Super Bowl.
I know Coco's dying right now. They just want that clock to hit 0 so they can celebrate. They got to go out for one more play defensively.
Yeah.
Well, the defense, the performance they have tonight, they'll finish their season on the field, and they'll be the ones to see the clock hit 0.
I want to say thank you to everybody thanking us, and we appreciate you doing here. And the crowd begins to stand and chant. And on the board is Athletic Director Mark Karstens as well, and Ryan Schneider. And the Coco Tigers are back-to-back 2S state champs. They win back-to-back state championships for the second time in program history. Their 6th state championship, and there's a little hook and ladder there, Jackson.
Yeah, hook and ladder by Bradford. They'll get out of bounds, so they're gonna have to run another play.
Yep.
With 26. I mean, they're not taking knees. Bradford's not done yet. They're gonna run some plays. They run a hook and ladder. It works for a first down.
This is
interesting.
The 17th state championship for Brevard County High School football, and the Tigers have 6 of them. The Pirates with 2, the Raiders with 2, the Terriers with 2, the Melbourne Bulldogs with 1. Did I say Palm Bay with 2?
I think so.
Shanks throws, nearly picked. And that will likely do it because Bradford has no timeouts left. Jackson, nice job. And want to thank all of you out there. And the Coco Tigers, as Ryan Schneider gets the Gatorade shower. The Coco Tigers are back-to-back 2S state champs. For Jackson Robb, I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. We'll see you down on the field coming up here in a couple of minutes. Have a great night, everybody. Congrats.